Welcome back to Clare High School in our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. More love going out to our friends, Gates Drilling and Service. They're usually the halftime sponsor. We'll call them the intermission sponsor, as well as Woods Household, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, Weefridge Financial, Clark Modular Homes, The Bird All-American Grill, Bill's Custom Fab, and Gates Drilling and Service. Brandy Grakowski is back with me, and I got the name down now, I think.
I feel like you do, yeah.
All right. I just need to get...
Probably more fluid than some of my family members.
I probably just need to get Ella Pasternik's name down a little bit. And I might have it, but again, it's just one of those, every time I read it and look at it, I feel like I'm goofing something up. And things are going to switch up a little bit now. It's still going to stay a rivalry, but it's now going to be Beal City Sacred Heart Academy. And again, you're familiar with these two teams from scrimmaging some in July.
Yep, for sure.
And is there a girl or two that stuck out to you in July? Excuse me, so I gotta grab the Sacred Heart roster out of the backpack.
I was gonna say you're gonna test me on some names.
Actually, what I should have done is just handed you the roster at first, and then you could have sounded like a genius and just been like, "Well, I remember this. Well, actually, you know what? I guess I remember all of them. You know, da 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 da." We got Beal City. We got Clare. And we got our Sacred Heart Academy Irish. And the one girl that really sticks out to me is Izzy Ruckert, who was back. She was their libero last year as a junior. She's going to kind of be filling the same role this year as a senior. And another thing that I think they have, you're replacing a lot last year. Chelsea Lynch, Sophie Hawkins, some of the other seniors that they had. But Marin Wheaton is going to be taking over as the setter. And she's not just a normal girl coming in. You look at the experience that she's had in softball. She's been a dominant pitcher for 3 years now going into her senior year. She's a girl that's been to the state finals, been in some big-time games. That always carries over, doesn't it?
Right, and leadership will, regardless of the field, the court, whatever, leadership is leadership. And I'm sure she's got a lot of that under her belt to contribute on the volleyball court as well.
And we always talk about the coach's son. Sometimes the coach's daughter can have a lot to do with it. Josh Wheaton, football coach, softball coach. And so she's just been around sports her whole entire life. And then we just got to see Beal City. Again, Lainey Longton, Pasnick, Shoemaker, Tessa Weber was some of the girls that I was really impressed with there. I guess you didn't get to see Tessa Weber. I think she started with like 3 or 4 points in a row at the beginning of the game. How big is that first girl you're sending out to serve? Obviously, you're going to send out your best server. However, I feel like there's a little bit more pressure on that first serve of the game. Does that make sense?
It's like it sets the tone a little bit. You want to make sure that your lineup is reflective, and you kind of want to score some points to begin with, kind of like let your team ease into it, give them a little bit of confidence in that first few points.
Yeah, and it's like I said, if you got a girl that you think might be able to start off with an ace or something like that, she's always who you're going to go to. Yep.
Well, in the game of volleyball also, usually that's your setter. So a lot of teams start with their setters as their first servers, and they run through the back row first to have those 3-hitter options in the front. So. And
another name I'm sure you're familiar with, She's going to end up being a 1,000-point scorer as a junior in basketball, Karis DeWilliger. She's just an unbelievable athlete in the middle for Sacred Heart Academy. But
it's super dynamic, can jump out the gym. Yeah,
she's a girl that, if there was one sport that I could hold, I couldn't hold my own with any of these guys. Let's be real. But if there was one, it would be basketball. But she's a girl. I could not imagine her trying to guard me in basketball with those long arms. She's so quick. I feel like she would just be blocking me out of the gym. And so, I think we got some really dynamic players here today. And I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit. The girl you send out for your first serve for Mount Pleasant, who is that right now?
Right now it's my setter. It's Abby Webster.
All right.
Yep, and whether that means that she's got to start in the front row when we're serve receiving first, or else if she's out there, she's got this short little toss and just a quick, she looks at the referee, literally it's a blow of a whistle, and she's contacting that ball. And
that's that I remember a few years ago with Monet Davis when she was in the Little League World Series. She had that quick pitch of they get her the ball. It's a similar type thing right there. So, a lot of the girls might still be trying to get set, get in position, and boom, she's there. She's on it.
Yep. And she's super consistent right now, which is what you want as well, right? Her serves, even today in practice, she served one. I think it even surprised her. She's like, whoa, that ball was moving and it landed right on the back line. And constantly working on it. So.
And one funny thing that happened right before you got here, this kind of just jogged back into my memory up here. So they're going back and forth. Clare had one that went up into the rafters. It hasn't come down.
Oh, no.
It got stuck up there. Have you ever seen that before?
Yes.
All right.
Yep. And then it's just a replay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
so.
and that was one of those that, like I said, volleyball is still so new to me. I'm learning so much every game that I do that it's like, wait, what's going to happen there?
Yeah.
Somebody and how long do you wait for it to fall?
I know. Wednesday when we were in Frankenmuth, they had kind of like this curtain thing, like in between. In the middle of the gym.
And you can just see it at the top of our broadcast there. Yeah.
But it went up, and it was still on our side, but it kind of stuck there for a minute, and I was like, oh, man, are they going to replay this, or we can play out of it? They let us play out of it. I don't think we won that point, unfortunately, but.
And it does look like we will have a national anthem here as these two key teams get ready to battle it out, and so. Of course, we will send it up.
Like they might just be shaking hands.
Well, yeah, we'll get. Yeah, either way, I'm going to have it ready to send out if need be. And again, Brandy, thank you so much for joining me here on the first first broadcast of year 2 on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Thank you so much for asking me to come.
Hey,
so privileged.
Again, I appreciate you being here. Hey, the only reason why I'm going to make the joke, the only reason why you're here is I don't know squat about volleyball, Brandy. But no, you do a terrific job. And again, like I said, with you, with Jade, with Coach Taylor, Coach Sauerman, all the coaches that I've had in the area, you guys have all helped me out so much these last couple of years.
Thank you for doing what you're doing for our athletes and especially our volleyball girls, because sometimes in the fall we get in the shadow of football. And
hey, and I will always say football is the pantheon because you bring in the band, you bring in so much other stuff. However, I feel like football. I mean, like this is the girls' equivalent to football right here is when it comes to volleyball. When it comes down to, again, we talk about basketball, we talk about softball. You could have one dominant player, one dominant big guy, one dominant big girl, one dominant pitcher. Volleyball and football, all 6 girls aren't on the same page. It's going to go bad real quick.
For
Football,
sure.
all 11 guys aren't on the same page. It's going to go bad real quick. And it will be Tessa Weber that you'll see on the first serve here. I feel like she doesn't hear us, but we've applied a little bit of extra pressure to her here. But she sends it over. Great location. It's dug out. A little tip over from Verlegger. That is from Miss Terwilliger. That will be for the point. And so a great start right there. And that's the athleticism of Karis Terwilliger. There's not a lot of other girls that are going to make that play look that easy kind of out there. Like I said, that was a pretty darn nice tip over, but she just made it look really simple. Here comes the first serve from Sacred Heart, and it's going to go out of bounds for Elise Latham. And that's a little bit of the nerves right there. She just kind of sent that one long. And I was trying to compare it earlier with the serve going long. Is that like the quarterback being too much? Going to overthrow the wide receiver?
Yeah, you probably got a little bit of adrenaline happening and stuff. Like you said, a rivalry and just got to go in there. And I always tell my girls, try to go 70% arm swing, see kind of where it goes. And then you progress from there. Like progress on different placements, different arm speeds, like make it a little tougher. So...
Here comes the serve from Bridget Wiggins. This one will be handled, tipped over by Passanek. Dug out there by Verlegger. Now sent over on the back row attack. Dug out by Beal City. Longton looking for kind of the cross-court kill. She gets it over to Williger. Somehow tips it over herself.
She, like, punched that ball.
Now a big hit there on the back line from Passanek. And, ooh, man, that's a big-time hit kill right there.
She perfect place, painted that back line, put it in between two defensemen.
That location, you're not going to get it much better than that, are you?
Yeah. Make those defenders think.
Shoemaker now on the serve. Or pardon me, no, that's Passanek. We got 6 and 9 out there. I goofed them up. And it's a great serve. Wheaton's just barely going to be able to send it over. Schumacher looks to set up Longton. She's going to set it over. Looking for the back row. Ruckert keeps it alive. Now sent over by Verlegger. Shoemaker, chance to set up Longton again, but it's going to go to Skelly cross court, and she'll get the kill. Talk about right there, you're Schumacher, you're on the far side. You've kind of got a choice. Are you going to go to Longton or are you going to go to Scully? How do they decide on that, or is it just kind of by feel?
Well, the pass was a little bit inside, more towards the outside, so it's hard to run a middle when the setter's kind of in the way of the middle, unless she goes around. I see Paige is in the front row, so the middle can go around into the other side and run a back or a right side. So.
Scully looking for another kill off the Shoemaker assist. Nice dig out from Sacred Heart Academy. Terwilliger goes for the kill. It's dug out by Weber.
Oh.
Nice block at the net. I believe that was that Wheaton there?
Nope.
Or was that Terwilliger again?
Terwilliger.
Another nice play. So that's essentially
She hung out up there.
2 kills for her
Yeah.
there. I think that comes from the basketball. Like I said, I watch her play, and it's just she does sky out there. And she's now on the serve as well for Sacred Heart Academy. And a beautiful serve. She's going to get the eggs. And so pretty good start for the junior. We've mentioned Terwilliger's name, but 4 or 5 times. It's
7 points. Yeah.
It's 4-3 Sacred Heart Academy. She will remain on the serve. This one will go into the net. We give her, I give her a little too much love there. But she's out there. Actually, we'll have a substitution. Ruckert comes back in. It's Elise Latham. It is Bridget Wiggins. It's Izzy Ruckert. It's Elena Verlegger, Marin Wheaton, and also up on the front row is Sierra Woolshide for Sacred Heart. We'll try and reset things for Beal City here in a moment. Back row attack from Verlegger. Now there's a little settle dump there. Wheaton now looks to get the attack. She's blocked at the net, but she keeps it alive. Ruckert now looks to pass it. It's a little wild. That right there is one of those early season mistakes from Ruckert, I feel like. Just kind of went off the wrong arm.
Yep. And you were out of system, so she wants to try to keep that ball inside the pin.
Now on the serve is going to be Lainey Longton for Beal City. Dug out by Verlegger, but it's a great serve, so it's going to be possibly a nice chance to set something up here for Beal City. Shoemaker to block. She gets the kill right in the middle of the zone, and that's kind of a perfect setup there for Beal City, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Free ball was sent over by Sacred Heart, and free balls are called free balls for a reason.
That's a term I need to get down. And
yes.
So that would be essentially when it's just passed over.
Right, passed or overhand set over.
Right.
When it's not attacked over, it's a free ball. And like I said, that's pretty much the name of it. You're giving them a free shot because it's hard to make those difficult.
And so this would be a
That's another
free
free
ball
ball situation, yep.
Block, looking for the kill. She's going for the back corner. It's going to be out of bounds. And that was a situation where Block saw a couple blockers at the net. Yes, Block with blockers at the net. I know it gets a little confusing. She saw the opening in the back corner, went for it, just went a little long.
Yep, for sure. Ran a slide. That was a slide movement for her.
6-5. Beal City with the lead. An excellent serve out there. I believe that was Wheaton. And so the point will go to Beal City. What a serve that time.
Yeah. Tagged her right in the chest.
Marin Wheaton back with the serve. And that was still a float serve, though. That wasn't a top spin. That just kind of, that's those goofy angles. You don't think it's coming at you, and all of a sudden it spins right back to you. Scully looking for the
nice
kill.
And flat, yep.
Nice dig out there by Wiggins in the back row. Verlegger sends it over. Shoemaker, another chance to set up block. She's going to go to Scully. Scully tips it over. Nice play from Wheaton to Ruckert. She sets up her teammate. It's going to go a little long out of bounds for Lexi Sweet. 7-6. Beal City now with the lead. And if you're looking to home visitor, it is the white is home. The color is visitor. So I feel like I don't need to put up the little, Irish or Aggies thing up there if you're if you're following along with us. Here comes the serve from Shoemaker. It's a good one. Gets sent back over. Scully meeting at the net.
Straight up.
What a play. Wiggins to Wheaton. Looking for the kill is Woolshide. It's right into the back corner. Great location there from Sierra Woolshide, and very similar to what we saw earlier from Block. I think she just kind of she nailed her location there.
The game is hard to play going backwards. So if you can find those spaces that are behind defenders, that's a hard move.
It's hard to call backwards too. Like when I try and make up something that it's like they're still learning how to do this volleyball stuff. You just got to let this game go because it's so fast. Verlegger on the serve, sent over. Now she digs it over. Wheaton wanted to tip it back to her teammate, similar to what I saw Sophie Houck do a bunch of times last year. It would have been a good play, but she went into the net.
Nope, not in the net. She lifted the ball.
She lifted the. Oh, that's that new rule you guys were talking about?
Nope, not necessarily.
All
that's a double.
All right.
We're getting there, Chris. We're getting there. So she pretty much tried to one-hand set, kept the ball in her hand too long, and it kind of pushed it away from her, and it's called a lift.
Jocelyn Cook on the serve, looking for the kill is going to be Maisie McDonald. It's going to go long. Or pardon me, that wasn't Maisie McDonald. That was Logan Novak that went a little long on there. And there I'm getting the 12s mixed up. Again, we're still early. Game number 1, baby.
I'm impressed. You got these. I would be constantly looking at these rosters trying to figure out who goes where. And
Cook sends that one into the net. Well, and that also comes from having covered these girls last year in softball and basketball and stuff like that, I made the joke to you. I said I wanted to keep the same number for every sport. Well, maybe in 15 years we'll be able to do that or have that much pull. Lily Gross looks for the kill at the net. It goes into the net. Trying to keep it alive was Terwilliger, but she ended up with a double touch there.
Yep, touched it twice.
And sometimes just your reaction, there's nothing you can do about it.
You know you can't touch it a second time, but you just know that the ball's in front of you and you try.
You're not going to let it hit the ground.
That's your job, right, as a volleyball player.
Tessa Weber back on the serve. The Lady Aggies have a 10-8 lead. They already bested Clare 2-0 in the first match. Now looking to go 3-0 here on the young season. And Clare actually falling to 0-3. And I'll have to take a look at Sacred Heart's records. I know they played a bunch of games this weekend as they hosted a tournament. And there will be a
Maury Courts. I was there for a little bit. I got to our JV team was there, so.
And so did you check out any of the action with the Sacred Heart girls?
Yeah, a team ended up not showing, so our girls played like 6 sets right away. Our JV group did, and so I got to I had a club girl playing there for Valley Lutheran, so I got to watch her play, and I was watching some varsity teams. Lots of teams made the track, multiple UP,
I know Crystal Falls came down and some other schools. Hey, and I tell you what, a really good showing for Sacred Heart. They tied Houghton Lake, bested Hale, bested Traverse City Christian, bested Mayo, and then they actually their only loss was to Division I Greenville. Yeah. So a pretty darn good showing there for Sacred Heart this weekend.
Yeah, and Greenville was in the finals, I think, or against Valley Lutheran, I think.
Nice try keeping it alive by Sacred Heart, but the point ultimately will go to Beal City 12-9. And as we started that conversation, there was another big kill out there from Lainey Longton. That was where I almost just exploded. And I remembered I can't talk backwards in volleyball. I just got to let it go. But a big time play out there from Longton. On the service, Maisie McDonald. She's going to get the ace there. It's now 13-9. And right now, maybe the first run that we're going to see from either one of these teams that's kind of been back and forth.
Yeah.
McDonald back there on the serve once again, getting some instruction from Coach Jay Jablonski. Serve goes over, and it's going to go out of bounds.
She's only a freshman.
Yep. Now, I'm going to make the joke here. Could you coach with your husband? It was a really cool conversation with the Jablonskis.
I listened to your podcast. Yeah. Well, my husband is completely not athletic at all. That's why we complete each other. We are completely different people, and yin and yang. I don't know if I could.
Yeah. But it was pretty cool to hear them kind of talk about it. And to hear about Jordan, it was like, well, I went to a couple camps, and I was like, all right, this is pretty awesome. It kind of reminded me of broadcasting these games. I come out to broadcast them, I didn't necessarily know what to expect, and it was like after 5 minutes, and like I said, you see the girls get in, you hear the noise. It's just kind of like, all right, I'm in. Let's volleyball. I'm here. Let's do it.
I feel like it would maybe be too much for just like Jordan and Jade were talking about, and how it's nice to unplug and maybe and it's hard for them to do that because they're constantly around it. Well, it's not hard for me and my husband because he has no idea anything about it. He listens to my stories and listens to my troubles if I have them sometimes, and he's there to celebrate and super supportive. I could not do what I'm doing right now without him. But no interest in doing, not even really coming to the games. So.
And that whole time we were chatting there, a big-time rally with those two. Sacred Heart ultimately ends up with the point. Nice play from Verliger at the net. 15-11 is the score. Beal City with the lead. And not much of a run, but a little bit of a run from Beal City to stretch this lead out to 4. And a big-time serve there from Terwilliger. And, all right, was that a topspin serve?
Yeah, it kind of was. Yep, it didn't float. She went over it a little bit, kind of like an attack, because when you attack, you also put topspin on. So. And
that might be a nice, like I said, if she can pull that out and then she goes back to the float serve, that'll really make things tricky. Longton looks for the kill. Great dig out there from Bridget Wiggins. And it's going to go back into the net. Somehow Sacred Heart keeps alive. Longton with another play over to Williger. To Wheaton.
Control the chaos. Someone's got to control the chaos. Yeah.
Shoemaker sets up Scully. She'll get the kill down the line. Again, what a great rally there between these two rivals. Beal City goes up 16-12. I can't remember which one of you coaches last year. You can't let the balloon hit the floor. That old game you played as a kid.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we saw right there. But those are some of the funnest plays. It might not be the big hit kill. It's just somehow they got it back over to the other side of the net.
Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be gritty.
16-12, Beal City on top of Sacred Heart here in set number 1. Beal City already victorious over Clare in our first match. After this match, we will have Sacred Heart Academy in Clare, as that's how the volleyball try works. And maybe a little problem here with the stitching in the net.
The antenna maybe came undone, or
And I guess that, when you got that powerful hit going on, that'll happen. All right, now we got a little break in the action. I'm going to make fun of myself here. One of the things that cracked up the girls last year was when I tried to say spike. When did that change?
Well, let's see. I've been coaching now for like 16 years at Mount Pleasant. I don't think even when I started, it was converting. It was like going into an attack instead of a spike.
Right. Gotcha.
Yep.
That one's going to go out of bounds down the line. Verlegger looking for the kill. Now Longton remains on the serve, 17-12. And talking with Jaden Jordan Jablonski, they talked about her serve as high risk, high reward. If she gets it over, it's going to be trouble. But every once in a while, she might put a couple in the net in a row. Nice dig there from Thielen. Shoemaker sets up Scully, but it's going to go into the net. Scully maybe two steps back too far there. Maybe she thought she was a little bit close to the net as it goes into the net.
Arm speed a little slow.
Couple substitutions coming in. Coming in for Sacred Heart is Alexi Sweeten to give a shot to Mount Pleasant Automotive. Just like Coach Davis needed a replacement, you can get a replacement part for your vehicle at Mount Pleasant Automotive. How about that for their little tagline there, Coach? Again, more love going out to some of our great sponsors. J&J Auto, Blockco Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ES Gravix, and our friends Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Bradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. 18-13, Beal City with the lead. Excellent serve out there from Shoemaker. Off the hands in the back row to the back wall. We've got a timeout coming from Sacred Heart Academy. Keep our broadcast right here. More love going out. Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Benga Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, along with our friends at Block Electric. 19-13 score right now. What are you saying right now if you're Coach Davis in that huddle?
Try to find the hole. Try to find the hole in the defense. I feel like Beal City's got some solid defense right now. Also, focus on some serve receive. Like they're serving tough and keeping Sacred Heart out of system. So
19-13 the score. Again, it hasn't really been a back and forth game. It's just kind of been 3 points for Beal City, 2 points for Sacred Heart, 3-2-3, and it's just now kind of ballooned to this 19-13.
Chips away.
Like I said, usually you see the big momentum swings, one to the other. This is a little bit of a different set here, isn't it? Than I'm used to seeing. I'll say, or what we saw from Beal City Clare, where it was again 24-13, and then all of a sudden it was 24-23.
Yeah.
And I think it was.
And those are probably a little less like recurring.
Yep.
So, but that's a huge momentum boost. You can break those deficits like that.
Shoemaker on the service, going to go right into the net. So timeout work for Coach Davis.
Yeah, point Krista Davis.
19-14, Verlegger on the serve for Sacred Heart Academy.
Coaches like to get some points too sometimes.
You got to give the credit where credit is due, you know.
I try to stay claim to all of mine.
Verlegger is going to get the ace as it goes right off of Lily Gross's hands, and I feel like that was the perfect example of the float serve where Gross thought she was in the right spot, and then the ball just kind of doofed off her arm right there. Just couldn't get good contact with it.
Could literally just be an eye movement off your platform. Yep.
Thielen's going to dig this one out. It's going to be sent over. It's going to be a point. They're going to say that was
a lift or
a lift there again. All right.
Illegal throw. It was.
And so if you're going to go with that one-hand touch right now, you can't even get your whole palm on it. You want to do fingertips.
Behind the ball. Behind the ball. You can't be underneath. You can't take it from like one side to the other.
Another nice serve from Verlegger. Scully sends it over. Sweet. Nice dig there from Weber. Chance on the outside attack there for Gross, but it's going to go outside as she looked to go cross court there.
Yeah, she wanted a piece of that one.
Yeah, we're now going cross court on the serve, down the line to the back row. Is it all about the feel? Is there a certain place you want girls to go?
Well, if you pay attention, Marin's in the back row right now. So as an attacker, I would say try to get my attacks to go into zone 1 and take out Marin so that she has to dig the first ball, and then their libero or someone else has to set the second. So
all right.
That's called out of system.
Out of system. 20 again. And so that's when you have a really good serve, you take them out of system, you make the person they don't want.
Well, yeah, it's hard with the serve because usually the setter's stacked away, right, so that she can't take the first ball. But in defense, she's a fair game, right? And
all right.
Setter's got to defend first and then set second. So
There was a nice set there from Wheaton that
Ooh.
time. It was sent over by Novak.
That should have been a double. Oh, yes.
All right, and they did come again.
That's the new rule. That's
all right.
the new rule. Like, if a ball is spinning and if it's spinning on the second touch and staying on your side and your player touches the third, it's not illegal. If you send it over and it's spinning, illegal ball.
I feel like this is the first time. I think Sacred Heart has the momentum right now. We'll see if they can tie this game up or take the lead. It's 20-18. Shoemaker looking to set up a Stonek. It goes into the net, but it'll still count. And the serve going into the net is something that's changed over the years, but that would always be a point, correct?
Yeah, it's called a let serve when it hits the net and trickles over. I despise the rule.
I think most of you coaches do.
Yeah, it's hard to train. It's hard to train against. I think it should just be like tennis. And tennis, it's against the law, right? It's against the rules if your serve does that. So.
And Lexi Sweet had the same, what's it called again?
A let serve?
No, the lift.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Lexi Sweet just
lift.
had a lift there. And it makes me think, man, when you want to be behind the ball and you only want to use your fingertips, because does it make sense if I say that?
Well, yeah, you can get it kind of in your whole hand. Like I said, you just can't go under and over. Like, it can't be like prolonged contact in your hand.
What a tip over from Lily Gross right there. Saw the blockers right in front of her with Wheaton and Terwilliger along with Novak, so she just tipped it over right into, I guess it wasn't the donut hole, but definitely
close,
an open area of the defense. That's my favorite play right there, Brandy, is that little tip over, yeah. Wheaton now looks to set up Terwilliger, and she hammers it down. Woo!
Got to get some more of that going.
Big time play there from Terwilliger. And again, that's the athleticism when you get that free ball and you're able to get your setter Wheaton right there with Terwilliger. That is going to be a lethal combination this entire year.
And that's a thing about middles, right? You get a middle that's hot. You have to really kind of have a pass, a good pass, because if you don't, then you can't get that middle involved because just the angles of the court and everything. Like, if you're setting off the net and out of system for the most part, you usually just set your pins. It's hard to get that middle involved, so Sacred Heart needs to get that ball in system to run her more.
And that was Terwilliger with the block and kill there, too. She's having a fantastic first set here. Here comes the hit down the line. It'll be a point for Pasternak. 24-20, Beal City with set point here. And if you're Beal City, you're able to pick up a victory over Beaverton last week. Really good program. You beat Clare 2-0. You're going to feel really good.
Yeah, starting the season off strong.
Comes a serve over. McDonald on the serve. And that will do it right there. Big time. Who had the block there? Longton with the block. And again, she's had some big-time plays out there. If I got to think about the Zeta Batchelder Baller of the Game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial, I think she's got to be in the running. Talk about somebody you were impressed with during that set. On either team, they're 25-20, the final, Beal City winning it.
Yeah, I think that they maybe had an idea that Terwilliger was going to get that ball, so I think she was Longton was eyeing her up on the other side.
And that's where you got to go with that little tip over, right?
Yeah, but she put that block right in the right place and took that away from her. So.
Yep. Now we got a short break here going into set number 2, and so if you're Beal City, your coach George Jablonski, you're rolling right now. You beat Beaverton 3-0. Mm-hmm. You now beat Clare 2-0. Again, you don't keep track of all the sets, all the points or whatever necessarily, but goodness gracious, you've got to be feeling really darn good right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, especially with their communication on losing some key players and stuff last year, and we're still very early in the season.
Yep. And again, they've got, I feel like they still have kind of a young team. I believe Pasnick is just a sophomore. I believe Weber is just a sophomore, too. And again, I don't have all their grades here in front of me. That's just me trying to go off memory, which is a little scary to do, but.
I should have tried to grab a program or something when I walked in.
Well, and I think it was one of those, like, I asked all the coaches to send me rosters, and I think some of you just picture here it is, and then it's like one of those, all good either way, but. Yeah, I still think like they have kind of a young team, and so I think they got a chance to be spectacular. And you look at Sacred Heart Academy, it doesn't matter who the girls are, what year it is. It seems like every year Coach Davis has them competing in the MSAC towards the top, and then that's always going to have them competing for a district championship because a lot of times it's the same teams that are going to be there. Yeah,
she's got her hands in her youth program and through there, so she's getting to know these girls at a young age and building that program of hers when they get up to the high school level for varsity potential.
I always like to tell kids playing basketball, younger kids, like ball handling and free throws. Like if you can be the best ball handler, the best free throw shooter on your team, you're probably going to have the ball in your hands at the end of the game, which is going to lead to everything else. What's the first skill you would tell somebody to learn in volleyball?
Serving. Yeah, for sure. Especially the middle school game is serving. Like, it's if you can consistently get a serve, especially a little bit of a aggressive serve, you can score lots of points in the middle school, and then you just kind of work on all the other skills. But yeah, serving for sure.
And I said I always tell people free throws are the one thing that's never going to change. You know, no matter who's guarding you, what level of basketball you play. Is that the same with the serve?
Absolutely.
Nothing changes with the serve. Doesn't matter who's on your team. You're always going to be on that same line. The net's always right there.
Always the same distance. You're putting the same size thing over that net and everything. It's you and only you, and has nothing to do with any of your teammates and stuff. So
I didn't mean to kind of go with that correlation, but boy, that kind of worked out pretty well.
It's a very good relativity.
Yep. More love going out to the diner, WW Construction, all seasons fireworks, Pier Plumbing, hanging by a thread, along with our friends at GNS Mechanical, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beal City Village Store, Sydney's Judges Bench, a Dog Central, Barry Funeral Home, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Almost Up North and Stitches for Britches, your official Clare Pioneer Gear headquarters, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, the Fisher Companies, along with Kenneth Egger DDS, and also our friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Kind of open the floor to you here, Brandy. What's it like working at Mount Pleasant Public Schools? Because they're hiring bus drivers right now. I know they need parapro, substitute teachers. Talk a little bit about what your experience is like there. Aside from Jason McIntyre.
Well, that's kind of my experience. Is kind of him. We're kind of on our own side of the building, but it's literally my favorite part of the day. I'm part-time and going in there, and I get to hear a lot of the kids in gym class, but I've got lots of kids that knock on my window and wave, and just dealing with sports and athletics for the majority of the day. And at Mount Pleasant, where I coach, and I get to experience those girls like after school and stuff. Literally my favorite part of the day. So
yep, and
nothing but good things.
Nothing but good things.
Love Mount Pleasant. Yep.
And also, I'm going to give some love to the diner right now. My friend Kara Sponseller, or Kara Fritz, I should say, formerly Sponseller. Have you ever had their grilled cinnamon roll?
I have not.
No. Next time you go there to try,
it's literally right around the corner from my house.
And their grilled cinnamon roll, I shouldn't eat it all the time, but that is my favorite thing to eat. That is like my number one. Like if somebody, last meal, I would want to have so much that it was all, the meal just kept going for forever. But one of the things on that last meal would be a grilled cinnamon roll from the diner. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, here we go. About to start set number 2. Beal City looking to run the table, I guess, per se. Said it's only four sets, but
I don't think we count Sacred Heart out.
On the serve, starting things off for Sacred Heart Academy is going to be Izzy Ruckert. Sends it over, dug out by Pasnick. Shoemaker sent over by Weber. Wheaton looking to set up Lexi Sweet.
Hit the pin.
And so she hit the pin there. All right, and so that's one where the little poles there, I'll call the poles that everybody uses in their driveway for snow plowing.
Yeah, for sure. They look very similar. Well, let's not talk about snow, though. It is getting a little chillier today, and summer might be over, but let's enjoy some fall.
Well, we got football and volleyball season before then. Nice dig there from Verlager in the back row, and then it's going to be so close to the net on the second touch. There really wasn't anything Wheaton or Sweet could do with it there in that front row. They almost would have had to have been underneath the net to have the angle to send it over. Beal City goes up 2-0. Nice start here on the serve for the Lady Aggies. And that, well, as I say that, it goes into the net. Point going to Sacred Heart Academy, and they'll be back on the serve. Subbing into the game on the serve is going to be Sarah Preedom, and she must be a serve defensive specialist coming in here on the back row. And again, I'm learning here.
Yep.
Sent over, dug out, looking to set up Longton. She's blocked at the net by Terwilliger. Great play from Sacred Heart. Beal does keep it alive. Passanek in the back row. Dive by Ruckert to save it. Wheaton sends it over. Shoemaker to Longton. Longton kind of had a bad angle on it, trying to turn and pass it over at the same time. It goes into the net. We're tied at 2 apiece. Remaining on the serve is the junior, Sarah Preedom. Preedom, a nice serve. Weber digs it out. Look for the play. Cross court is Pasternak, and she makes it there, 3-2. And there was kind of cross court, but you're kind of going from one level to the next too with the kind of the back. Like I feel like
so
that angle.
Yeah, yep. So she went from outside to the left back, and then those defenders try to run usually a parallel. They parallel, and hopefully out of the two of them, one of them touches it.
And that one's going to go off Ruckert, off the speaker, down to the floor. It's another ace out there for Ella Pasternak. She has had a wonderful evening here as well,
she's
too.
Got a great arm, lots of speed behind that serve, and when she was attacking.
4-2, Beal with the lead. They lead it 1-0 over Sacred Academy. Ruckert with the dig. Wheaton has to send it over on the pass, but it will go into the net, making it 5-2. And is there ever like the little bit of frustration, like on that third touch, like, oh, I just got to give him the free ball here when he passed it over?
And then they try to make it a little bit spicier, try to make it a free ball with a little bit of heat behind it, and then just kind of forget about the checker thing in front of us.
Wheaton sets up Terwilliger. She's blocked at the net by Longton. Big time play right there. And I tell you what, if you're Longton, if you're Terwilliger, that's where I don't know if I'd be cut out for volleyball. I'd want to be covering up my face when you go up high like that. But a fantastic block there from Longton as Terwilliger was set up nicely. Pasternak remains on the serve, but this one's going to go into the net, sending it back to Sacred Heart. 6-3. Beal City with the lead here in set number 2. Beal City leads it 1-0. Coming in on the serve is going to be Bridget Wiggins, the sophomore for Sacred Heart Academy. Try and reset things here after this next play if I have long enough to do so with who's out there for each squad. Thielen digs it out.
Tight.
It's going to go into the net, point for Sacred Heart. All right, out there for Sacred Heart, it's Marin Wheaton, Elena Verliger, Karis Terwilliger, Izzy Ruckert. On the serve is Bridget Wiggins. Also out there is Sarah Predom. That is a 6 out there for Sacred Heart right now. Shoemaker with a nice little setter dump. It's dug out by Ruckert. Nice play from Izzy Ruckert being aware there. This one's set over. Tough play for Shoemaker. She sends it to the back row. Scully looking for the tack. It's just going to be out. It looked like it was on the back line to me, but it'll be out of bounds. All right, in there for Beal City, it's Maisie McDonald, Maya Scully, Lainey Longton, Paisley Shoemaker, Tessa Weber, along with Aubrey Thielen. All right, I actually got the 12 out there right now, Brandy.
Good
Longton
job.
goes for the kill. Diving to try and save it was Bridget Wiggins. A great effort, but it's a point for Beal City. They go up 7-5. And this is me learning, asking here. This set is starting very similar to the first one.
Right.
Just Beal City just kind of a little bit more momentum than Sacred Heart, but neither team really gaining control. That one right down the line, it's going to go out of bounds, sending it back to Sacred Heart Academy. And it almost seems like I've got the broadcaster's jinx, too, of any time I want to give it credit.
Something bad
goes into the net.
I don't think it's just a broadcaster's thing. I'll compliment something at practice, and then it goes completely awry, and you're like, oh, Jiminy, put it in the universe.
Scully sends it over. Nice dig out by Sacred Heart to keep it alive. But then it's a free ball, but a tough one for Beal City to deal with. Tessa Weber goes to the back row attack. It goes into the net, and that might be the first mistake we've seen from Tessa Weber all evening. She's been great, too. On the serve is Karis Terwilliger.
Tie game.
7-7. Nice save there from Shoemaker.
Trouble.
Thielen and McDonald kind of tie each other up, and so we'll go out of bounds. Point goes to Sacred Heart. All right, Sacred Heart now has that 8-7 lead. Let's see if they can kind of carry that over and make something happen here.
Got a little bit of momentum going, keeping these girls out of system.
Nice serve there from Terwilliger. Dug out by Thielen. Shoemaker looking to set up Scully. Scully with the hit. Nice dig there from Terwilliger. Verliger looking for the back row attack. It's going to go into the net. And then we're going to give more love to Terwilliger here. We've seen her make some big plays at the net. She just had a really nice dig there in the back row.
Great movement through that ball.
On the serve now is Paisley Shoemaker for Beal City. She is the girl we saw with 4 consecutive aces against Clare. She spent money on the serve here this evening. Goes into the middle. It's going to allow Wheaton to set up Verliger for the hit on the outside. Handled cleanly by Beal. Shoemaker sets up Scully down the line for the point. Great setup right there. And Maya Scully, she's a girl who feel like more times than not, she goes with that little tip. But then when you're finally expecting it, she's going to smash it right off your grill. 9-8. Beal back in the lead. Shoemaker remains on the serve. That one's going to go out of bounds. A little too deep on that one. Tied up at 9 apiece. Checking into the game is Lexi Sweet. She will be replacing Sarah Preedom on the front row. Marin Wheaton on the serve for Sacred Heart Academy. Nice serve dug out by Thielen. Nobody goes for it.
That's
Somehow
good.
it's kept alive by Weber.
Pancake.
It's like she just put her hand on the ground and somehow stayed up.
Called a pancake.
But sometimes all you got to do is keep it alive. Chance for Beal City to get the point here. Somehow Verliger keeps it alive.
Free ball chance
Gets sent
here.
over. Thielen, Shoemaker, block. She looks for the kill. She wound up a little too early, and it went into the net there. That is going to make it 11-9. Still waiting for that point to get up there. Sacred Heart Academy with the lead. And again, I feel like if you're Sacred Heart, this is your opportunity right here to take advantage. Again, pardon me, just 10-9 now. Wheaton remains on the serve. Shoemaker sets up Scully on the outside. It's going to be just long outside. That was really close.
Yeah, close for sure.
That's one, if you're Scully, you're not going to hit every single one of them. That was a good location there. Wheaton now starting a little bit of run here for Sacred Heart Academy on the serve. She sends it over with the 11-9 lead. Thielen again with the dig. Tessa Weber sent over by Lily Gross. Nice diving stop there by Ruker. Now Verliger looking for the attack on the outside. Just too long. 11-10 the score, and Beal City will be back on the serve. Couple substitutions coming in, coming out for Beal City. On the serve for Beal will be Jocelyn Cook. Also coming into the game is Ella Pasnick, Lily Gross, Emma Block, Shoemaker, and Tessa Weber out there for Beal. Verliger with the attack. It's going to be dug out. Gross looking for the attack. She looks to go for the tip. Didn't get enough on it. It goes into the net. Point will go to Sacred Heart Academy. Verliger on the serve now for the Lady Irish. 12-10. Set 2. Beal City leads it 1-0. I want to go into the net, kind of playing it at the net right in the middle as well. Looked like that was Sierra Wilshide, and that's one of those, if you see it right there at the net, you can knock it down. You got to knock it down.
Yep. You're up there to be an extension of the net and protect that net and your side as much as possible.
That one's going to go a little long for Verliger.
We literally worked on that in practice today.
Yeah,
The
all right.
net decision drills. Is it a 50-50 ball? Is it still on the other side? Is it on my side? Now I can tack.
And it is a lot of it about just jumping up, keeping your hands straight up, and then making that decision at the end.
So it depends. Like I said, just ball placement. So if that ball's a 50-50 ball, the other person on the other side's trying to get it over, right? So you want to go up with 2 because they most likely will probably be going up with 1, and your 2 hands can beat out their 1. If it's up and over and on your side, then feel free to attack it just like a set, because usually they're in a good space just like a set would be. So
again, that's why I'm so happy to have you here. I'm learning so much here about volleyball.
If it's still on your side, and if I'm a blocker, if I'm Beal City and I pass it tight to the net and it's still on Beal City side, and as a Sacred Heart blocker I go up and I touch it, that's called a roof and it's illegal. You're like just you're messing with the ball when Beal City still has a chance to do it. So,
Gotcha.
So
all right,
I'm trying to.
Well, and that's why you have the one official right, and like I said, people can see him on my camera, see her on my camera, right down the line.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you need to be right there at the net. That's why so many times, like, wait, hang on, what happened? They're right there. They see it. We're a little ways back. I always make the joke. They got a lot better view than I do if there's a call I don't necessarily agree with.
Usually you'll see them like kind of make shapes with the ball with their hands that shows that they're saying that the ball was 50-50.
All right.
On either side.
Ruker to be on the serve for Sacred Heart. They lead it, 14-11 over Beal City. Say Sacred Heart, the visitor. Beal City, the home team. And you got the whites and the grays out there. Here comes a big-time kill. Nice dig from Verliger. Sweet looks for the tip over. Weber keeps it alive with a setter dump.
Should have been a double.
Back to Verliger. Here comes the hit over to Williger. It's dug out by Weber. Shoemaker looking to set up long tit. It's going to go out of bounds. Great rally right there, though. 15-11, Sacred Heart now with the lead, and Coach Davis giving some instruction. I think she senses this is the moment right here where we can
run away with it.
Can take control of this set and tie things up and go into set number 3 where they will play to 25 still. That one's going to go off the net. Or pardon me, it's actually going to be tipped to go out of bounds. It'll be a point for Beal City. And again, there's one of those plays where that official has a great view of it at the net. It's hard for us to tell what happened. 15-12 the score.
Ball changed direction, so most likely hit a hand on the other side.
Maisie McDonald back on the serve for Beal City. You can tell Coach Jablonski's got a lot of confidence in her. She's been at the serve quite a bit. Ruckert sends it over. Here's a free ball for Beal City. Longton looking for the cross-court serve. Actually, it's more down the line for the point. Big-time play there when Shoemaker and Longton can get it set up, similar to Wheaton and Terwilliger. It is lethal.
They like that slide, and a slide down the line is going to score a lot. It's going to score. Usually a lot of slides because you go and you plant, almost like a basketball layup. Plant one knee up, one arm up, and you tend to go cross-court. But if you can get that to turn down the line, you'll score a lot.
That one will go out of bounds. 15-14, or 16-13, pardon me. Sacred Heart with the lead after that point. On the service, Sarah Freedom. It's a good one. Weber, Shoemaker, trying to set up pass net. Cross court for the point. That was one she went up. She saw a big opening on the right side and hammered it home. 16-14, a battle here in set number 2. And if you're Sacred Heart, I guess it's important for Beal City, too. You don't want to go to set number 3.
No.
But if you're Sacred Heart, it is do or die time right now. Up 2 points in set number 2. You're down 1-0. Wheaton sends it over. Free ball here for Beal City. Longtail with a little tip over. It's touched at the net, but it'll go underneath the net. Nice attempt from Wheaton to keep it alive, but the point will go to Beal City. They trail at 16-15. I've got a feeling here, Brandy, if Beal's able to get back in the lead, I think they might be able to take control here.
Yeah.
Ella Pasnick on the serve. Sends it over. What a serve. Nice dig from Verlegger. Little tip over there from Novak. Beal City's able to keep it alive. Now a chance for Wheaton to set up to Williger in the middle, and she hammers it home. Oh, no, they're going to say that was out of bounds. Ooh, that was pretty darn close right there, and we're now tied at 16 apiece. And Coach Davis, I think, feels exactly how I feel. Calls timeout here. Let's get things back under control. But very similar to set number 1, it was back and forth, and eventually Beal City ran away with it a little bit at the end, winning 25-20.
Yeah, I'm sure she's looking to hopefully get a reset here and get a coach's point off this timeout and get her girls back in the lead.
And I believe, talking with Coach Davis, I believe they play in the Beal City tournament later this year, too. So these are two teams that they're going to see each other again for sure. And it has been a great battle. And every time it's Sacred Heart, Beal City, it's a fantastic battle. And I always make the joke that what makes the rivalry so good is not the hate, it's the love, because they all know each other, and everything. Great example of that, Mr. Owen McKinney, Joe McDonald battled each other and everything for growing up. They're now roommates down at Hope College or whatever, playing some baseball. So I thought that was pretty cool to see some pictures of those families getting together. And it kind of made me think of, like, that's what it's all about there. Like, you're moving down to Hope College. Do you want a room with a Sacred Heart guy? Absolutely. Yes, I do. That one's going to go out of bounds. A little too much heat on that one for Pasnick. It's going to make it 17-16. Sacred Heart with the lead. We've got a substitution coming into the game. On the serve is Bridget Wiggins. And we've seen her kind of roll in a number of times to make sure she gets her hands on the serve back there.
I feel like she might be in line to maybe take over libero, like maybe next year and stuff. I feel like that's Krista's probably plan.
Longton to hit down the line. It's going to be a point for Beal City. And the officials kind of making sure everything's under control. I think, were they saying there was a tip there?
Line judge called it out, but up ref is overruling and
overruled
saying it was in. Yeah.
All right. And again, they've got a much better view than we do. We are tied at 17 apiece. Remaining on the serve is Miss Bridget Wilson. Actually, still some conversation here. It's Bridget Wilson. It's Sarah Preedom, Karis Terwilliger, Marin Wheaton, Izzy Ruckert, and Elena Verlegger out there for Sacred Academy. Out there for Beal City, it's Maya Scully, Aubrey Thielen, Emma Block, Miss Paisley Shoemaker, along with Lainey Longton, and Maisie McDonald. And did they change it there?
Yep. Up ref says it was out.
All right, and so 18-16, Sacred Heart with the lead here. Here comes a serve from Wiggins. That one will go out. And again, similar to like when you and I have said something, there's that little bit of, change out there, and poof, there goes the serve.
Yeah,
but
that almost treated like a little bit of pressure and almost was like a timeout.
And we've talked about Longton, that high-risk, high-reward serve. This is huge right now. Her at the serve. Her team down 1, 18-17 in set number 2. And it goes long. I was thinking she gets a couple big serves here.
Yeah.
Could really put them in good position, but it goes out of bounds, putting Sacred Heart up 19-17. Terwilliger now on the serve. Again, we've seen her with a couple doozies in this one. Sends it over. Nice dig from Weber. Shoemaker looks to keep it alive. It's sent over. McDonald knew she had. Was that the double touch there?
Nope, just pass the ball out of bounds.
All right.
Free ball out of bounds.
All right, now we've got a timeout coming from Jay Jablonski, 2017. This has been a pretty back and forth set number 2, 3 or 4. Like, this might be the biggest lead in this set at 20-17. And yeah, what more would you expect? Beal City, Sacred Heart Academy, similar to like when you guys get together with Midland, you know it's just always going to be a battle. It's always going to be a doozy. And we're going to see Clare back out there here in match number 3. You've taken place in a bunch of these tries. What do you want your girls doing? Are they just watching the match? Do you want them kind of walking around, stretching a little bit? Talk about that process as a coach.
I think I would prefer that they would be sitting together, right? And hopefully off cell phones, but watching the match, seeing that you will be playing one of the, it's just kind of like at a tournament too, right? You got pool play and your 2 teams start off and they're playing and you're going to play them eventually. Like, I want them watching, kind of like seeing what potential may happen. I feel like volleyball is hard to scout at the high school level because it's so like momentum based, and like a kid can be on and then you play them and they're off, or vice, like you have a kid that's on and then she's off one game, just a little bit hard to scout.
And that one went out of bounds, so the point goes to Beal City. What a serve there from Shoemaker.
Oh, the bottom dropped out of it.
She continues to just be lethal. Again, she had 4 consecutive aces against Clare. Now she gets a point here in a big time point of the match, or this set. She makes it 20-19 with the ace. This one's sent over. Again, drops right in there. Sent over on the second touch on the setter dump. And that point will go to Beal City. Was that a little too much to talk?
I think what they're trying to get is a little bit more consistency in reffing. And if that ball's got any kind of spin on it as it's going over, if it's the second touch, they're going to call it as a double. Right. Or maybe they should. But once again. And
so that was called the double touch right there. And again, if you're watching, you're like, how in the world is that a double? But those girls, it's 2 snaps of the fingers right there. But it's that little. If you get that little extra touch with your thumb, that's a big deal when you send it over.
I just feel like they're looking. The balls are multicolored, so I think that a lot of referees are just looking at the ball. Like, was that maybe a double? Probably not. I feel like it would be more like the ball rolled off the back, right? Which would not be a double. A double would usually a ball would be going side to side. But I think just any spin, they're going to try to be all on the same plane on that.
They want that to be a point of emphasis this year, too, correct?
For sure. Yep, it was one of the main rule changes.
All right, here we are, 20-20. Shoemaker with the serve.
This is
dug out by Wiggins.
5 situation.
Verlegger with a nice location, but it's dug out by Shoemaker. Here comes Scully with the attack. Dug out by Wiggins to Wheaton. Sent over by Woolshide. Handled by Beal City. Chance for the kill. Gross. It's going to be in. What a hammer there from Gross. I think she thought she had it long. We could see the look on her face of like, but the point is a point. 21-20. Shoemaker remains on the serve. A nice little run right here for, was it 18-20 when she took over, I believe? Now 21-20. So 3 consecutive points here for Beal and Shoemaker on the serve. Sends this one into the middle. Ruker. Sent over by Verlegger. Nice dig there by Thielen. Weber keeps it alive. Block sends it over to Ruker.
It's aggressive free ball.
To Wheaton. Verlegger with the tip over. Nice double jump there by Block, getting off her feet quickly to handle that one. What a play that time from Sierra Woolshide. Saw the opening, knew she didn't have to put any power into it. Just dumped it into the lows of the zone where there's nobody. 21-21.
Tipped the ball a couple times in the middle. It kept getting dug, so don't put it in the middle. Put it somewhere else. That's smart.
On the serve, Marin Wheaton. Dug out by Thielen, but it's going to go right into the net. Scully sends it over. Great job keeping it alive. Wheaton, chance for Sweet to go cross court. Nice dive out there by Lily Gross, keeping it alive. Now it's sent over by Thielen. Wheaton looking to set up Verlager. She hammers it down the line for the point. 22-21.
Yeah, that ball might have been out of bounds.
I was going to say it was a big smash from Verlager. It did look like it was going out of bounds, but when you're Aubrey Thielen, you're the only one back there. Your job is to not let it go by you, correct?
Yep, and unless you know it's out of bounds, definitely bench could help in that situation because they got a good view right over there, right?
And so very similar to hearing go back to the football. When you hear pass run coming from the bench, you can have your players yelling out, and she pulls her arms back.
Yep.
Wheaton looks to set up Sweet. It's going to go into the net. We are tied at 22 apiece. It is 1-0. Beal City with the lead. So if the Aggies come away a winner in this set, that will wrap things up with these two squads, and we will have Clare and Sacred Heart. But if Sacred Heart is able to punch the victory in this one, we will have set number 3 for all the marbles, as they say. Wheaton setting up Verlager, looking for the back row attack. It's going to go into the net. Tough play there for Wheaton and Verlager, but they tried to make it happen in the back row, and that's why you want that play to happen in front of the net.
Yeah. I actually think Verlager's in the front row. She just pulled back to pass serve right now. So, but yeah, she was behind the 10-foot line when she hit.
23-22 the score. Verlager looks to dig that one out. It's going to go to the back wall. Ruker looks to keep it alive. Not quite going to get there. A great effort from Sacred Heart. But now Beal City has a chance to close it out here. It is match point. 24-22. And I'll say it again. Beal City swept Beaverton. They swept Clare. Now a chance to sweep Sacred Heart. It would be a great start for the Jablonskis and the Lady Aggies. Wheaton sends it back.
Space.
Kill for Woolshide. Woolshide, big time play. 24-23 the score. Substitution coming in is Maisie McDonald for Sacred Heart Academy. On the serve, Elena Verlager. Sends it over, dug out by Pasanic. Set up for the serve. She looks to take it over. It's going to go into the net. Point will go to Sacred Heart. 24-24. Now, summer to tennis. We're at the deuce. Somebody's got to win by 2 here. Both teams, I think, have already used their timeouts as well. So this is going to be a fun finish here. Shoemaker looks to set up a lot. Goes for the kill down the line, and she gets it. A big-time attempt from Verlager in the back row, but she can't make it happen. It's now 25-24 Beal City, and their best server, Tessa Weber, has a chance to win it here. As I say that, Shoemaker maybe could be in the argument for that. They've both been fantastic on the serve.
Behind them.
25-24. Match point here for Beal City. Wheaton sent over. It's going to go into the net for Novak. And so that will be the match for Beal City. They go 2-0 versus Clare, 2-0 versus Sacred Heart Academy. How good are you feeling right now if you're Jay Jablonski?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have a lot of great things to keep watching and keep improving on, but those are big wins for her. So she's got to be feeling good.
A pair of rivalry wins. You know, one playing down to Division 4, one playing up to Division 2, and they're getting a little standing ovation from their crowd right now. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and I don't imagine we're going to have 20 minutes in between this next match. It's probably going to get rolling pretty quickly, so we'll send it out to a commercial break, maybe a second one after we come back. But coming up, it will now be Sacred Heart Academy and Clare, both teams looking to, get revenge on each other for having lost to their other rival. We'll be back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weaveridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weaveridge Financial. Weaveridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeaveridgeFinancial.com, visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant, call or text 989-953-7888. Weaveridge Financial, member SIPC. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network in our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Chris Spockman alongside Brandy Grakowskis, and I just got noticed it's Mazzy McDonald, not Maisie. I should have just sounded that one out. And also, pretty cool name, I'm going to say, too.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was a kid, I'd love having the name Mazzy as opposed to Christopher. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'll make that joke. But Clare coming out, starting to warm up. Sacred Heart is still kind of huddled over there right now. Beal City doing a little warm-up. So it does look like they've got 10 minutes on the clock here to maybe give Clare a little bit more time to warm up. And so if you're cool shooting a breeze for a couple minutes, we'll do that, and then we'll send it out to another commercial break. And I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. But
Okay.
What one player that you were just really, really impressed with in that last game?
On which team?
Either
one?
or, yeah.
I thought that Paisley made some really good set choices. I did feel like, let's see.
And yeah, this is one of those, I'm throwing you the names and numbers right there. I think you're looking out there trying to remember
Yeah.
who some of the girls are. And again, volleyball moves so dang fast. Like I said, you were impressed. Like, how do you got these people down so fast? And I'm like, well, I got the ones down that I recognized from last year in other sports, kind of a thing that kept the same numbers.
Yeah,
but,
I feel like Pasternak, too. Is it Pasternak?
Yeah, Pasternak. I think we got it right.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's one
she
of
has
the,
a big old arm out there. I feel like those two for Beal were probably stick-outs for me.
Yeah, and then like I said, Karis Terwilliger just really always sticks out to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sacred Heart couldn't get a pass, like I was saying, like in system. And when she's a middle, it's hard to get her the ball when you can't get the ball like in system. So they had to set a lot to their pins, and yeah.
Yeah, and Marin Wheaton always doing a great job too. And I also thought we'll kiss the Verligers' butts a little bit right there too. I thought Elena was very active. There was so many times where it was Verliger
Front
getting her hands
row,
on the
back
ball.
row,
you know,
yeah.
and so I
Sure.
thought she did a fantastic job as a sophomore out there. But now we're gonna have the Lady Pioneers and the Lady Irish battling things out. And again, I go back to that first match between Beal City and Clare, the young lady that Pam Allen stuck out to me. Sierra Mills stuck out to me. Amelia Rizik's always going to stick out as a great player. But Kylie Wyman, when it gets lined up for her, she's really going to be able to just hammer it. And she's one of those girls that you're going to be scared to get in front of her ball, if that makes sense, me saying that.
Yeah, big old arm for sure.
See, again, 10 minutes on the clock here. I'm still waiting for him to start it as Beal City kind of heads out of the gym here, celebrating after going 2-0. And last year it was 1-1-1. Sacred Heart 1-1, Beal City 1-1, and Sacred Heart Academy 1-1. And so Beal City, I guess, will have the bragging rights. I don't want to say until next year because, as I said, Beal and Sacred Heart are going to see each other again, possibly at the, I think it's the
But if this is a yearly thing, then, you could probably say till next year.
And again, in Beal City, Sacred Heart, it used to always be you'd have this try, and then you'd have that football game that would kind of really open things up with Beal City and Sacred Heart. And Sacred Heart, Beal not scheduled to play in the regular season for football this year, but with Sacred Heart going back to 8-man or 11-man, I think, Brandy, there is an outside chance. First, second round of the playoffs, you could see Beal City, Sacred Heart Academy battling it out. And talk a little bit about your team a bit more here. And again, if people didn't go check out SoundCloud, Mid-Michigan Sports Network. I've got podcasts with all the volleyball coaches and still waiting to catch up with Sheila from Shepherd, working on our schedules and whatnot. But for you, what games are you looking forward to in the Valley? Obviously, every game is circled, but now with the North and the South, is it the two Midlands that you're looking at? Or is there...
Yeah, I would think they're number one on our radars for sure. Dow probably a little bit over Midland, and we actually play Dow the first week of conference, and we're home on Thursday, September 11th, maybe? Is that the Thursday? So, yeah, that is for sure on our radar, and then hoping to be in that 1v1 North and South game October 22nd. So,
and you said you expected that to be Davison today?
I think, I think it'll probably be Davison. We got to see Lapeer this last at Frankenmuth, and we defeated them in a couple sets. They're kind of in a rebuild year, fairly young. So, haven't seen Grand Blanc. They're under new coaching. And then Powers was young last year too, so. And
this is not you not knocking on anybody. This is just me asking you the question and kind of forcing you to answer. And obviously, if you didn't say Midland was circled on your list, you'd have Jason McIntyre give you. So you got to always have Midland Week circled kind of a thing. So. But, yeah, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me and being here for these games. Again, it's so much fun to have you and your knowledge. And in particular, I think having you here at game number 1 this try is really going to set me on a good path forward.
I love that I can help you with that.
I really, really appreciate that. So we're going to set it up.
Yeah, I got to get you in line so when you come talk about our games.
Hey, you're exactly right about that. Woods Household, Gates Drilling and Service, in-between game show, we'll call this right now, as we're getting ready for match number 3, Sacred Heart Academy and Clare. And, all right, I'm going to put the coach's hat on again. You're playing a try. You're both 0-1. This is a big deal now when you come out here.
Yeah.
And again, it's early enough. You're still going to have those early season jitters, but now we do not want to go winless against two local rivals
for sure.
here.
And they both kind of got a chance to watch each other a little bit, like while they were sitting. So hopefully they took some notes and know some tendencies or maybe some girls to pick on in serve receive or defense. So.
All right, we're going to set it up to a break here as I'm going to say our Woods Household Gates Drilling and Service between game shows. We get ready for match number 3, Clare Sacred Heart Academy. It's coming right up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student-athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network in our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. And I've got an interesting opportunity to give them some love because Brandy Grokowskis just told me her basement just got finished, and it was the fine folks at Konwinski Construction.
It certainly was. It certainly was a 2-month project of a completely finished basement now, and it's beautiful, and we love it. And the entire experience was just awesome with Eric Brodachuk.
It was even
crew.
Eric working with you, and it was still a smooth process.
It was. Yeah, he probably is tired of my text messages now that we're even in season. So we've been in constant contact now for the last 3 months or something.
Big shout out to him and Andy Tyson and the crew. And Andy was one of those guys, to give them some more love. I felt like when I was first starting things out, it was like him, Joe Barberry, Gates Drilling and Service, and I felt like, man, the Bird. I felt like if I had this group of reputable people,
more will follow.
It was kind of like going to talk with people about the new thing, and it's like, well, Barberry and Konwinski are two big sponsors, and people are just kind of like, oh, well, you're credible then, kind of a thing. And so big shout out to them, and obviously things have gone fantastic in year one, looking for an even better year two. But those sponsors that were wanting to support me before game one even of last year just always mean something special. And so Sacred Heart Academy, Clare, going to be key to victory in this match. I feel like it's tough to put you on the spot here. You saw a lot more Sacred Heart than you did Clare here in the early going.
I got in a little bit late or whatever. I think Servicey Focus, they both have really good setters, like seasoned setters as well, even if Marin hasn't been in that role for the last, every year for the last 4 years or whatever, but Amelia certainly has, and getting those girls able to be like in system and not have to like run and focus on where to put the ball and based on serve receive. So get them that, it's really that first point, like, get that first point pass going, get a side out immediately, and then get the ball back and work on serving and defense from there. So
and that setter's such a big deal, and continue to compare it to other sports. You might have that dominant big guy down low in basketball. You might have that really good running back, but you still got to go through the point guard. You still got to go through the quarterback to get that ball to the right place. And that's why that setter is so key.
Yeah.
You can have those dominant outside hitters, but if they're not getting lined up right,
if they're not getting the ball, there's a problem. So.
And they can obviously block at the net and stuff like that. But again, just such a big deal to be able to have that great setter and that experienced setter. And that's again where I think, if you're Coach Davis, you're very fortunate to have a girl like Marin Wheaton who has so much high-level experience playing. I imagine she plays travel volleyball too, and just doing so many other things that you're like, well, she's a first-year starting setter, but not really, kind of a thing. And again, as Rizik, I think this is her second year as a setter, and she's
third, I think. She's a junior, and she started as a freshman. Yeah.
Yep, and so she brings a ton of experience to the table as well. We got 1:30 on the clock there as we get ready for set number 3. Where's your guys' next match? When is your guys' next match for Mount Pleasant Volleyball?
Wednesday, we're heading down to DeWitt for a quad where we will start off the day at 5 o'clock against Gull Lake. And then around 6 o'clock, Fenton, who is ranked right now, I believe, in the state. And then end it with the home team, DeWitt. So probably around 7.
Three really, really strong teams down there that you're going to be playing against. But you kind of, do you feel like you have to run a gauntlet at the beginning to be prepared for the Valley?
I just try to, like, and we saw some tough teams in Frankenmuth on Wednesday, Imlay City and Ann Arbor Skyline and stuff, and teams that we don't get to see all the time. It tells you so much about what you need to immediately focus in on and stuff. So I actually, last year, well, it would have been almost a year and a half ago, I reached out to DeWitt's AD, and I was like, hey, can we find out, I want to play you guys, can we figure out some sort of quad that you maybe host and then pull in some people that are a little bit further away from us so that we only have to drive an hour to play someone who's maybe an hour 45, and so then Gull Lake had reached out about wanting to play us, so I was like, well, they're kind of from the Grand Rapids area, and I was like, okay, let's look in the other direction, and then we ended up finding Fenton that wanted to do it, and it was tough. We went 0-3 last year at that quad, so
hey,
I'm ready to challenge my girls more. So
funny question here, possibly. We're just far enough north. Mount Pleasant is a D1 school. When you ask a lot of those schools to come to Mount Pleasant, they're like, oh no.
Yeah. I feel like the only way to get the schools from down south to come up is if we pull some of even like the Traverse Cities and stuff. That makes it more appealing, right? Because their chance to see Traverse City's an hour 45 from us, right? And if they're another hour south, it's 2:45 for them. So that's why our actually we have two invites, a JV one on September 6th that we actually are hosting 20 schools.
Oh, wow.
So I have 20 JV schools coming on September 6th, and we got 14 varsity ones, and bringing up a lot of like north schools and kind of schools from all around, and ones that don't get to play each other a lot. So,
all right, beginning of the game, the handshake line. It's something a little bit different. Talk about what goes through these girls' minds. Is there that little smack talk with that friend that they know, kind of a thing going through?
Maybe, yeah, a little smirk, a little clapping hands, and you're saying good luck, but then you're not really truly wishing them good luck, right? Because you're like, why am I telling the opposing? I really don't really love the handshake at the beginning. Like, let's do it at the end and say good game. But yeah, so girls that I'm sure have played club together or just played against each other on the other sideline, or other side of the court. So.
All right, starting things off for Sacred Heart here in this match, it's going to be Izzy Ruckert, Marin Wheaton, Elena Verlager. Also out there is Logan Novak, Alexi Sweet, and on the far side it's Sierra Woolshite. Starting things off for Clare, it is going to be Miss Kylie Wyman. Also out there is Marley Clark, Amelia Rizik, Aria Smiley, and Miss Pam Allen. Those are the 12 ladies on the floor to start the game. That one is going to be out of bounds on the serve for Wyman. It was very, very close on the line. And this is where the girls are probably doing the line stuffer from Clare. And so if she's calling it out of bounds, it's definitely out of bounds. I'll make that joke. Here comes Izzy Ruckert with the first serve. Sacred Heart Academy leading 1-0. And Marley Clark just kind of had a whoopsie moment there as it went off the hands back towards the back wall instead of back towards the net. Then again, I think that also has something to do with that float serve, that knuckleball serve that comes in. If you think you're in the correct position, all of a sudden it hits the other wrist. And another serve from Ruckert. Irish lead at 2-0. Handled by Clark in the middle. Rizik looking to set up Pam Allen down the line. She'll get the kill. Ruckert with the diving attempt to dig it out, but it was not able to happen. Big time play there from Pam Allen. Now Sierra Mills will be on the serve for the Lady Pioneers. She's actually going to go from the right side over to the left side for this serve.
Cross court,
and
hits the
wow,
corner.
what a serve there, right in the court. And she went from right to left there. It almost looked like Coach Taylor maybe said something to her, but that's you said finding the spot. You never want the girl to be in the middle. You always want them going cross court.
That's my preference, but it's a tough serve, the cross court one like that. So.
And Allen's going to look to go cross court again and go right over the net, but she's going to leave that one, or pardon me, Sierra Mills. She's going to leave that one just a bit short. Substitution. Lexi Sweet coming out of the game. Coming in to replace her is going to be Elise Latham, and she'll be on the serve. 3-2, Sacred Heart Academy leads it over Clare. So both of these teams fell to Beal City. Now looking to pick up a victory here in the late going. And Clare,
they like that back corner right there.
Yeah, and the Clare student section has now picked up a little bit of a contingent here, making some noise, which is always great to see. On the serve.
Like they got some sort of theme going maybe over there. I'm sure what it is. Backwards hats of some sort. But
Amelia Rizik on the serve. Going to be a free ball for Clare here. If they play it right, they do a chance here. It's sent over into the back corner. Fantastic kill there from Aria Smiley in the nice location. So they're aiming for that back
Those
corner.
corners, yeah, for sure. Today we did a drill in my gym where there was a hula hoop in that back corner, and my girls are trying to hit into it and stuff. So huge. Make those two defenders run a parallel or guess who's going to try to touch it. So
Rizik on the serve once again. Great location. Verlager's able to dig it out. It goes up into the rafters, though. And so the point will go to Clare. 5-3, they lead it. And if you're Clare, is it a little bit more difficult having sit out that one match? You know, the one.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know. I guess like it could go both ways, right? They did end up losing, so maybe it's a good little reset. But also now your players got to get re-warmed up, so could be either way, I feel.
Nice little volley right here between the two teams. Rizik looking to set up her teammate Allen on the outside. They're going to say that she went into the net.
The blockers did.
The blockers went into the net, so that is a point for Clare. It was a nice dig in the back row as well for Sacred Heart to keep it alive.
Yeah, they finally got in that seam there, so.
6-3, Clare with the lead. Comes Rizik remaining on the serve. The lefty is going to send this one into the net. And again, the broadcaster's jinx whenever I'm like, oh, it's been three great serves in a row. It's a whoops.
Happened all night tonight, hasn't it?
Bridget Wiggins now on. It's free throws. It's everything.
It's the universe.
Yep.
It's the universe. Ask Jason McIntyre about my universe theory. I get yelled at through the office all the time about it.
Here comes the big hit there from Smiley. It's dug out, though. Fantastic.
Free ball situation.
Here comes the hit from Clark. It's going to go. And they were into the net once again. All right, so the point goes to Clare. And so didn't matter that was out of bounds.
Does not
the end of the net.
Yep.
Again, whatever whistle blows.
That is a no-no.
But similar to basketball, like I said, whatever whistle blows first, the girl goes into the net after it's out of bounds.
It's regardless. So,
all right.
Yep.
And that one will go out of bounds, so the point going to Sacred Heart Academy. Clare leads it 7-5. Karis Terwilliger on the serve right now for the Lady Irish.
That's kind of the down refs, the R2 or the down ref. That is her job, checking to see if all the girls are in the right spaces when the serve happens, and then watching that center line for any feet crossing and anybody touching that net. That's your job as an R2 down there.
On the serve is Marley Clark for Clare. Dug out by Izzy Ruckert. Wheaton, now Verlager looking for a little tip attack there.
Ooh, tight, trouble.
Yeah, but you saw that right away. Pam Allen, her pass was just so close to the net. You just saw, did you say too tight?
Absolutely, way too tight. Out of system ball, right? She's number one, not the setter. And then she's also taking the second ball from beyond the 10-foot line. So her goal should be trying to set up one of the pin hitters. And there's like a little unwritten rule. It's like called 5 and 5. So you want to try to get that ball 5 feet off the net and 5 feet inside from the sideline. Gives your hitter some vision and doesn't trap them against the net like that, because it's a bad angle with me trying to look over my shoulder to see where the pass is coming from and then try to turn my head and see where the net is.
Smiley on the serve, dug out by Ruckert to Wheaton. Now Verlager kind of got to go back row attack there. It's a good location, but it's dug out by Smiley. Now Wyman with a chance to wind up, but she doesn't wind up, and they're going to say Sacred Heart went into the net there.
Yep.
Like, all right, I got that one. That's one that's tough to see. Like I said, you're watching that ball. You're not watching below the net.
Yep. They do indicate the player afterwards by jersey number, so.
Here comes the serve from Smiley. That one's going to go long. 10-7, Clare with the lead. This is set number 1 of match 3 here tonight. Beal City was victorious over both of these squads. Now these two teams looking for a little redemption against, well, it's all rivals here tonight with Clare, Beal City, and Sacred Heart. That's what makes this one so special. It's saved in. Wyman with a ground attack there. Is that the right term for that?
Down ball?
Down ball sent over by Wyman. Sent back over. Clark digs it out. Now Wyman with a chance to wind this one up, but it's going to go into the net. That might be the first time we've seen Wyman kind of mishandle that one a little bit right there. But she's had it lined up. She has absolutely hammered it home most of the night. Verlager remains on the serve for the Lady Irish. Clark to Allen. So it's going to be a free ball for Sacred Heart. Verlager looking to set up on the outside. Novak, she sends it over with the ground ball.
Down ball.
Down ball. Dang it, we're trying to. I want to say ground ball
you got
because
the free ball thing
yeah.
going now. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the ground ball will come eventually. I guess ground attack's not the worst way to say it either.
Yeah.
I feel.
Ground ball. I'm thinking baseball or softball.
All right, touche. Another kill from Wyman down the line. Verleger looks to make the diving stop, but I don't think anyone was stopping Wyman on that one. 11-9 is the score. Clare with the lead. And very similar to the Beal City Sacred Heart matches, like I said, with Beal City Clare, it was 10 points for Beal, 10 points for Clare. Mm-hmm. This one is back and forth, point after point, kind of going each way, like we saw with Beal City and Sacred Heart. Allen with a chance to line it up down the line. She goes cross court to the back corner, and it was in. And that was one of those, the experience of Allen. She goes up, she sees, she's probably not planning to go across court all the way to the corner, but when you see that open space.
I feel like she was a little off balance, too, so that's the safe space. That's the longest part of the court right there. And if you're kind of off balance, that same ball would be out of bounds down the line, right? All that, like, geometry stuff.
Yeah. That wasn't the best at geometry.
Me neither.
Verleger's attack goes a little long. We're going to have a timeout. 13-9 is the count right now. Clare with the lead over Sacred Heart Academy. And let's talk about what you've seen in the early going for this one. Just kind of back and forth. It does look like there's still some early season jitters, some early season rustiness out there as well.
I think Clare's figuring out what's working for them, and they're continuing to hammer those back corners. And Sacred Heart needs to find a way to take that away from them. And so.
Yep, more love going out to some of our sponsors, of course, coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Much love going out to Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, sponsor of Isaiah Batchelder, baller of the game, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. If we're picking a baller of the night, we could probably do it because it's probably got to be from Beal, right? Because they picked up the two victories earlier. I think when I'm really looking at those two teams, Pasnick along with Shoemaker were two of the girls that really, really stood out, along with Scully, Gross, Longton playing at the net.
Yeah, I would say Longton. Yeah, those three for sure. Schumacher, Longton, and
yeah, you don't want to say her like. Yeah, you're afraid to say her. I feel like you still said it better than me, and I think that's one of those broadcasters' names. You got that name every once in a while. It just really goosey you up. So,
gosh, being in the athletic office, I have seen some names. I have like rosters from other schools, like athletes from our school. So
I take a lot of pride when I'm substitute teaching, and I get the name right, and the kid's like, "Wow, nobody else ever gets the name right." There's like a little fist pump inside. Back to the action here. Sent over. Nice dig there from Pam Allen. She's got a chance to get it right back on the attack. Goes into the net. It's kept alive for a moment, but the point will go to Sacred Heart Academy. 13-10, they trail Clare here in set number one as Terwilliger comes back in.
Yeah, got to get some passing. Get her involved.
Ruckert on the serve. Sends it to the middle. Dug out by Marley Clark. Chance on the kill here. Oh, a big-time hit right there from Sierra Mills right down the middle. And maybe a little change there. Going to the corners, kind of went towards the middle that time. There was an opening there.
Yep.
I tell you what.
She was fast out of that, and she wasn't hitting in her normal space because they were in serve-receive, so she was hitting on the right side, so maybe a little less expected.
Now Sierra Mills on the serve. It's a great one. Verleger digs it out. Sending it over is Novak. It's going to be out of bounds, though. Point will go to Clare. They lead it 15-10. And Clare does look like I said, you didn't see their first match. I must say, I feel like they look a little, or not all their first matches. I feel like they look much more comfortable out here in this first set.
Good little reset then, for sure. Like, they got their student section here supporting them. That's the change of scenery, not scenery, but just hearing those cheers from your classmates and stuff can do something super mental for you. And
how big of a deal is that? People often look that over, but you hear about it at every level of sport.
We talked about things at the beginning of our season on how to maybe, do what do we want to do to bring community in and stuff. And a lot of the girls were like, yes, we want the community to come watching our games. They're like, we need to get more of students in our games. Like they want their peers coming and watching and stuff, which can be hard because we have so many fall athletes, right? And there's so much stuff going on. But I say we're thankful for everybody in the gym that can get in the gym.
That one was sent over on the first touch by Clare, kind of by accident, right to Marin Wheaton, and she won't have one lined up better for a kill the rest of this year.
The setters love some attacking love too.
And it just kind of, it was a good serve, and so it just kind of came off of Allen's hands right over the net. Nobody really had time to react to it. Chance here on the kill for Pam Allen is going to go into the net. Point going to Sacred Heart Academy, 16-13. Trying to get a little run to get back into this one. I believe it was, 15-10, 16-10. Yep. Now 16-13. The Irish girls battling back here a bit. Looking for the kill as Allen is going to go down the line, but it goes out of bounds. Again, you can hear that the students making some noise for Clare, and I feel like you can see it out there in the body language of the Lady Pioneers as well. Wyman digs out the serve. Set up at the net. Clark looking for the kill. Ruckert digs it out. Wheaton with a setter dump and a beautiful play. You were oohing right away, weren't you? Talk a little bit about
go up, look like you're setting someone, and just a little side set over the net. Especially when you're in the front row, they have no idea, right?
16-15 the score after the fantastic play from Marin Wheaton. They'll tip over from Clark. It's going to go out of bounds, and so another point for Sacred Academy. And talk about the Bills' custom fabrication of the game. There's been some big hits out there, but I tell you, that little setter dump, the little tip at the net is my favorite thing, because there's something about like everybody like freezing, and then like four girls diving towards the middle of the court, and still none of them can get there.
Little deception, little finesse.
And there might also be something to, I would never be able to get up above the net to go for the hit kill, and so if I was playing volleyball, I'd be going for that setter dump. That would be my specialty right there. 16-16 is the score. I'm trying to think of the correct way to say this. When you win set number one, what's the percentage of you winning, the match?
Oh, gosh. I'm sure someone has calculated it somewhere, but it's got to be higher than 50, higher than 60 maybe.
And again, it's different when you're going 5 sets, obviously, too, as opposed to just 3 sets here. Yeah. And so I feel like it'd be, an even bigger deal in this type of matchup. But that's something I'm going to have to start to look at. Nice play over by Terwilliger, but it's handled by Wyman. Now a setter dump there from Rizik. Terwilliger looks for the kill. Nice dig in the back row from Clare. Now another dump from Wheaton. Clare ready for it this time.
Yeah, do it too much and people will be ready for it.
A great rally right here. Nice dig from Ruckert. Looking to set it over, but it's going to go into the net there. A little missed touch there from Novak. 17-16. Pioneers go back up by 1. We're in match number 3 of the night. Beal City went 2-0 on the evening. They've already headed out and headed home back to Aggieland. Now both of these teams here looking for redemption in our final match of the night. It's set number 1, 17-16. Clare with the lead as Allen goes for the kill. What a dig from Ruckert. Ruckert sends it back over. Free ball here for Clare as they have a chance to set up the kill. Looks to go down the line, cross court. It's going to go out of bounds for Smiley. Substitution coming into the game. Coming in to serve once again is Bridget Wiggins. It's Wiggins, it's Latham, it's Ruckert, it's Verlegger, Terwilliger, and Wheaton out there for the Irish girls right now. We're tied at 17 apiece. Wyman, Rizik, Clark, Allen, Smiley out there for the Pioneers, along with, I'm looking at the wrong roster here, along with Miss Brenna Campbell in the back row. And another point coming for Sacred Heart. I feel like they've got a little bit of momentum right now as they lead at 18-17.
So I Googled the win percentage thing of the first set. It says Ivy League schools 78% if you win the first set. But then it says Olympics 97% win rate if you win the first set. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
And you
3%.
You think it wouldn't be that high of a percentage, but again, I think so much of it goes into 3% more confidence on this side, 3% less confidence after that first set. Mm-hmm. That's 6%, if we're just going by that, that's a big deal. Another point here for Sacred Heart. Terwilliger remains on the serve. Sends this one over, just misses that back corner. I don't mind that serve right there, I feel like, by Terwilliger. It was kind of an all-or-nothing serve.
Good miss.
A good miss.
So, yep, there's a good miss and there's a bad miss when serving and when attacking. A bad miss is something in the net or outside the pin that cannot be touched, and a good miss, it could go over, and someone might think that ball's in bounds and touch it. So
19-19. Wheaton looking for the center dump. It's blocked at the net, and Wyman still sends it over as well. Great play from Kylie Wyman. Now looking for the kill at the net is Verlegger. It's blocked, but too much power behind the right arm of Verlegger. It's going to get the point for Sacred Heart. 20-19 is the score. A battle here in set number one. I think the biggest lead was at 14-10 for Clare. Allen digs it out. Nice dig from Ruckert.
Oh.
Wheaton sends it over. You wanted her to set up her teammate there.
Well, I just feel like that might have been a double. So lots of spin or just, I don't know, weird push. So
Verlegger with another hammer, but it's blocked at the net by Sierra Mills. Or pardon me, no, that wasn't Mills. They're giving the love to Smiley on that one, but they were both there for the block. We are tied at 20 apiece here in set number one with Clare and Sacred Heart Academy, a best of three. The serve from Smiley. Ruckert digs it out. Wheaton looking to set up her teammate Verlegger. She goes for the kill in the back row. Nice dig back there by Marley Clark. Now here's set up for Sweet. She looks to tip it over. Nice dig from Clare. Wyman now looking to line it up. It's dug out in the back row by Wiggins. To Wheaton, to Verlegger. She tips it over. Kept alive. Wyman now looks to send it down the line. It's going to go into the net. Nice volley there between both of those teams. I feel like everybody made everything look easy on that, on that little volley right there. On the serve now will be Elena Verlegger. Sacred Heart Academy leads 21-20. Sends it over. Clark digs it out. Set up by Rizik. Blocked at the net, but it still drops onto the Sacred Heart side. Ruckert looks to set up Sweet. She loses her footing and can't quite get the tip, so it goes into the net. 21-21. We are tied. How much fun are these matches for a coach, or do you hate them when they're like this?
As a coach, I mean, you like the runs. If you're the one down, you like it when you get back up and you start to really compete and just I love to compete. So
Sierra Wilshide with a beautiful play. That was a setter dump, but she kind of jumped up and went up above the net there a little bit too. Is just kind of a different looking play, but that's still a kill when it comes down to a shoot.
It was not the setter, right, that attacked it, right?
Yep.
So if it's not the setter, then not a setter dump, but it's the players can shoot where the ball goes flat to the corner.
And again, these are the terms. Like I said, setter dump is something that I think I'm still going to use it when it's not the setter sometimes until I get a little bit more familiar with it.
No, that's fine.
So when you're setting the ball over for a point and you're not the setter, it's a shoot.
It depends on how the ball. If it's just a nice up and down, then it's a free ball, right? But if you have some velocity behind it and it's more straight line, preferably to a corner, then you're shooting that ball over there.
Again, this is where you on the first broadcast is going to help out my knowledge so much, and more love going out, as I told you, coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. We had our Gates Drilling and Service, Bird All-American Grill, in between shows we'll joke about. Bill's Custom fabrication of the game. Talked about a couple different plays, and don't have any score updates from around the area from Clark, Brad Malley, and Malley Construction. That's more, football Friday nights, basketball, baseball, softball playoffs.
This beginning of this season, everybody's kind of all over the place, and even conference play for all of us, like locally, is all different days. And
chance to set up Mills for the kill, and she hammers that one down.
She hammers it, but then she went into the net, so it does not count.
And she's man. Yeah. Little boo birds coming, but you saw it right away, didn't you?
Yeah.
Here comes the serve from Ruckert, 23-21. A chance for Sacred Heart Academy to get set number one here. They're up by a deuce. Block at the net. Point goes to Sacred Heart Academy. Lexi Sweet and Karis Terwilliger both there for the block. It is set point for Sacred Heart Academy, 24-21. They lead it. Ruckert on the serve. Sends it over. Nice dig from Allen. Wyman looks to set back up Allen. Sends it over. Close to that back line. Wheaton setting up her teammate. It's going to be tipped at the net, but it'll still drop on the side of Clare for Sacred Heart Academy to take set number one, 25-21. And so, as we just looked, those percentages, now Sacred Heart Academy's kind of got all the momentum going their way and whatnot. And so, we'll see what.
As a coach, winning that first set is kind of just, you can take a breath, right? You can take a breath, and now you're a little less tense, and but you don't want to let them in either. So.
Yep, and yeah, so coming out in this next set, I don't want to say, what's your mindset when you're up a set or down a set? Does it really change, or is it one of those right now on both sides, you're telling those girls, act like we're starting over? You know?
It's brand new, but you want to, if you were down that set, you want to make sure you're focusing on some of the things that weren't going quite your way, and if you're up a set, you want to make sure that you are focusing on the continued things that you continue to do well. So.
All right, we're going to send it out to a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We'll be back with set number 2. Sacred Heart Academy leads Clare 1-0 on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weaveridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weaveridge Financial. Weaveridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeaveridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weaveridge Financial, member SIPC. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality.
Welcome back inside our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Chris Spockman alongside Brandy Grakowskis. Again, Brandy, thank you so much for joining me here on the very first broadcast of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network in year number 2. Volleyball tri-action. We saw Beal City go 2-0 versus the squads that are out there right now. The Lady Pioneers of Clare and the Lady Irish of Sacred Heart Academy. Now in the first set, Sacred Heart Academy was able to best Clare 25-21, and there's never really any big runs in that set. It was just kind of back and forth, slowly.
The beginning of the game, Clare looked super solid and super strong, and then Sacred Heart figured it out.
Easy Ruckert start on the serve here. Again, it's 1-0. Sacred Heart Academy, a best of 3. Chance for Wyman to wind that one up. She's blocked at the net by Terwilliger. Terwilliger's got a chance to block. She's blocked at the net. Big time play from Sierra Mills from Clare. But the ball is still alive. We'll see who come up with the points. A little too tall of a set. What a play from Wyman to get it over. Now looking to get that setter dump is Wheaton, and she'll ultimately get credited with the point on that one. But some big-time action right there between everybody.
Net awareness over there, making sure that you're protecting that thing.
Ruckert on the serve. 1-0. Clare trails Sacred Heart. Mills going for the big kill. It's going to be blocked at the net, but it goes out of bounds, so she will get the point. Tell you what, her and Kylie Wyman, when they line it up, it is scary.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kylie Wyman, she will be on the serve. Again, had one of the most unbelievable postseason runs in MHSA softball history last year with what she did, helping her team get all the way down to the state finals. Terwilliger looks for the kill, and she gets it. Goes out of bounds, but was touched at the net by Clare. Big-time play there.
Yeah, Kylie actually foot faulted, I think, on her serve. The line judge missed it.
Hey, another reason why it's fun, like I said, that's something that, well, hey, I've never looked at the line when girls go up and serve. And you just saying that's like, why don't I ever look at that? It's a pretty darn important part. Marley Clark is able to dig it out. Chance for Allen to go with the kill down the line. It's blocked, but it goes into the bench of Sacred Heart Academy. And just back and forth action between these two teams with just some there's great upfront players for both of these schools, I feel like, for smaller schools. Does that make sense if I say that?
Some big arms in the front row, making big plays.
The ball went all the way back towards the locker room area. Sierra Mills comes running out of there with it, along with Amelia Rizik. Mills on the serve, off to the left side. She tries going cross court again, as she did. She does, into the back row. Ruckert digs it out to Wheaton to Terwilliger with a left-handed kill. And that's one of those, if you're Terwilliger, she's so high up above the net, she just kind of reaches that left hand out and pokes it down. And the way she can jump, I feel like she still could have swung that right arm around if she wanted to.
Maybe just let the ball drift a little bit to her left side so she felt more confident there, non-dominant.
Wiggins on the serve. Sends it over. It's dug out. Now Allen looking for the kill. Nice dig out there from Wiggins. Goes into the middle. Kept alive by Clare. Back to Ruckert, to Wheaton, to Terwilliger, and she hammers it once again. Woo! Again, Karis Terwilliger, it doesn't matter the sport she plays, the athletic prowess she brings, and then there's always something to the younger brothers, the younger sisters, when they've gotten beaten up their whole life.
Yeah, or else they've been forced to go to all these games and
spend a lot of time in the gym.
For sure. So home away from home.
Rizik looking to set up Pam Allen. Pam Allen doesn't jump. A ground ball there from Allen.
Down ball.
Down ball, dang it. Nice location there from Verlegger. She sends it into the donut hole with the tip, and it will be a point for Sacred Heart Academy. They go up 5-2, and this is that momentum carrying over from set number one, I feel like. Bridget Wiggins, a sophomore, remains on the serve. She's done a terrific job coming in, primarily serving for Sacred Heart Academy.
Yep, and playing some back row.
And here we go. I don't think I've seen her hit one into the net or fault or anything, but this will be the test of the jinx right here as we have a timeout on the court.
Coach Taylor trying to get her point in this set.
And this is almost your emergency timeout now at this point. You're down 4. You're already down a set. I feel like this is, or is it too early to be saying to your girl?
I think 3-4 point runs, you want to get those girls reset so that you stop the bleeding a little bit, right? And try to get back in this game a little bit sooner than having to, too much last-minute-y stuff.
Yep. More love going out to our friends. J&J Auto, Blockco Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Enos Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, along with my friends Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, along with Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pier Plumbing, Hang by a Thread, and GNS Mechanical. 6-2, back out there is Miss Wiggins, ready to serve it up for Sacred Heart Academy. Right in the middle, dug out. Allen with a chance for the attack on the far side. Nice dig there from Wiggins once again. Now a chance on the attack here for Verlegger. Handled in the back row. Now Allen sends it over. Nice dig there.
Tight.
And you saw it again. All right, so when it's going real close to the net, tight, it was too tight to the net to be able to make a play.
The hitter can attempt to get there as much as possible, and then they'll do a dink or a pokey.
All right.
Is get under the ball and try to make that ball go up and down because it's so tight. But it's also like I tell my girls in practice, don't go up because it's a safety concern, right? So.
A big hit from Terwilliger was dug out, allowing Clare to get an opportunity to go on the attack, and they take advantage as they get the point. 6-4 is the score. On the serve is Amelia Rizik. Rizik, the lefty. It's dug out by Verlegger, but a tough play for the Irish to keep it alive.
Oh, that's tight too.
Yeah, that one's tight. Nice play at the net there by Rizik to just tip it over with the left hand.
She's in the back row, though, and she touched the ball above the plane of the net while she was in the back row, so it's an illegal back row attack.
And that took the referee an extra second. She had probably to make sure that was the right girl that did it.
Well, and she watched Amelia go back into her base position, which was in the back row. So.
All right. And that's one I don't know if I'm ever really going to follow that, but I'm glad you were here to point that out. Ooh. Here comes the serve. It's going to be a little too long that time for the Irish and Latham. 7-5 is the score here. We are in set number 2. Sacred Heart Academy leads it 1-0. On the serve is going to be Miss Pam Allen. She's been a great player all evening long for Clare, too. Sent over, dug out by Verlegger. Wheaton sets back up Verlegger. She looks to get the kill. Nice dig there from Mills. Was also tipped at the net. Wyman now lines one up from the back row. Nice dig from Ruker. That one's going to be just out of bounds. I didn't mind the back row attack there.
No, I love it.
That was Wiggins again. And I also saw the first time I saw there was a girl in the front row who kind of went up and faked it a little bit.
Tandem they ran.
Again, you hear the student section make some noise to inspire these Lady Pioneers of Clare. Rizik with the dig.
Ooh, that's
to
getting
Mills.
close to the ceiling.
Very close to the ceiling. A nice attack was seeing how it came so close to the ceiling out there from Smiley. Wyman looks to tip it over. It's going to go into the net. 8-6 Sacred Heart with the lead. And I feel like Wyman sometimes, I want to wind up and hit it. And so she goes to tip it, and timing's just a little bit off. Substitution coming in for Sacred Heart. Out there at Sierra Woolshy, Lexi Sweet, Elena Verlegger, Izzy Ruckert, Wiggins, and is Wheaton on the serve. Rizik looks to set up Kylie Wyman. She's blocked at the net. Big time block out there from Woolshy and Sweet. Wyman gets another opportunity to crank it up. This time it's dug out by Wheaton. Verlegger sends it over. Wyman sends it over on the attack. Verlegger tips it over into the middle. Wide open into the middle. Great play from Verlegger there. It is now 9-6 Sacred Heart Academy with the lead. You can feel the intensity pick up just because of that student section getting loud.
I feel like I'm making a little bit more noises.
Mills with the dig on the nice serve from Wheaton. Clark sends it over. Ruckert with the dig. Wheaton looking to set up her teammate Verlegger. She goes to the back row. Allen digs it out. Now a chance for Wyman to get set up right on the line for the point. And there's that big arm we see from Wyman. Again, when she's able to line it up, and it seems like she's always on that left side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Amelia's putting up a really nice outside set. And I tell the girls it's a nice set if I want to attack it. I tell my girls that. So
Woolshot goes up for the tag. It's blocked at the net. Ruker somehow keeps it alive. Sweet tips it over. Nice job by Rizik to keep that one alive. Now Smiley with the attack into the back corner, and it's wide open for the point. The Irish had kind of closed up those back corners towards the end of set number 1. It was wide open.
Those deep back corners, tough to defend. We work on parallels all the time. It's a trust thing, right, too? You have a certain space that you have to cover, and you got to trust that both girls are going to go, and 50-50 shot that one of them touches it. So
Wyman lines it up. Wheaton looks to tip it, but it's looks to tip it to Wilshire. Timing just a little bit off there. I feel like you give those girls 2 months, they're going to be able to make that play.
A little connection,
9-9 is the score here in set number 2 of possibly 3 with Sacred Heart Academy and Clare. Chris Bachman and Brandy Grakowskis with you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. And another big thank you for joining me, Brandy, taking some time from Mount Pleasant Oiler Volleyball. And
I put my time in today. We had practice.
Yeah, and how did practice go today? Let's dive into that a little bit.
Practice was good. We did today was net decisions and talking about bossing the hitters around, what's available to hit, and the attackers.
What's bossing the hitter around?
Well, I want my libero, the libero's behind the hitter, or the defenseman or defender is behind the hitter usually, and they can see the block maybe a little bit better than the hitter, so you can talk about where they should be attacking, because they can see where the block is and see what's available. Did lots of serve receive, and we play a ton, so we'll take and do some skills for a little bit and then immediately put that in a 6-on-6 situation and play to some capacity.
I got a funny thing here. I'm always talking about how volleyball compares to football. Mm-hmm. Imagine volleyball practice is funner than football practice.
Yeah. 9-9
is their score. Sacred Heart Academy leads Clare 1-0. Lady Aggies already on their way home, victorious 2 games to 0 in this one. They're now 3-0 on the year and have not lost a set with Beaverton, Clare, and Sacred Heart. Nice time out there for Clare as they come right out and get the point on the serve from Marley Clark. 10-9, Lady Pioneers out in front. Out there for the Pioneers, it's Clark, it's Rizik, it's Allen, it's Campbell, and Kylie Wyman. Set up Wilshire. She looks to go to the outside. Just a little too much on that one as it's out of bounds. Point will go to Clare, 11-9. Now to reset things for the Irish. It's Wilshire, it's Sweet, it's Verlegger, it's Wheaton, it's Ruckert, along with Wiggins out there for the Lady Irish. This one's going to go into the net for Marley Clark. 11-10 is the score. Another game very similar to the first set. No team really taking control. Just kind of
back and forth.
Yep.
And
1 point here, 2 points here. Like we haven't seen more than like a 4-point run, it seems like, in a grip. Comes a serve from Verlegger.
Oh,
what a serve.
Great serve.
So was that a topspin serve without the jump right there, maybe? Or was that just a...
I think I couldn't tell. I guess I wasn't focusing on if it was spinning or not, but it was below, like close to the tape. Maybe even some of them thought it was going to hit the tape.
Goes the next serve from Verlegger. Another good one as Allen has trouble handling it. They just have to try and send it over, and it will be back-to-back aces for Alana Verlegger. 12-11. Sacred Heart goes in front. If you're Coach Taylor, you get down by another 3-4 points here, you're using that last time out.
Yeah. Which is rough doing it in the first half of the game.
Rizik looking to set up Wyman on the outside. It's going to go into the net for the point for Clare, so 3 in a row here for Verlegger as she starts to get some momentum. And that's another thing. You got a girl that has a good serve goal, and you maybe call that timeout.
Try to ice them.
Verlegger sends it over, almost gets another ace. It's going to be a free ball here for Sacred Heart. Wheaton looks to set up Novak on the outside.
That ball was out of bounds.
And it was a little high, but still touched on the back row. And that's where if you're Campbell, you know you're the only girl back up there. It's hard to let it go.
Yeah.
14-11. Verlegger with a nice little run here for the Irish girls. Sends it over. Wyman looking for the kill on the outside. It's going to go into the net. I know if my main man Jackson Verlegger is listening down, trying college, he's got to be pretty pumped about what his sister's doing right now. Cool to see him. Luke Hacker down there on that Trine football team. Here comes the hit from Verlegger. It's dug out by Allen. A chance for the kill here from Mills, and there was no denying Sierra Mills on that one. Into that back row, nobody on that far side. Big time kill there for Clare to get some momentum back. 15-12 the score. On the serve, Biaria Smiley. Seeing her with some good control tonight too.
Yeah, and that was smart of Clare to put Sierra on the outside other than Wyman, because Wyman had a couple errors, right? Like, get a new face out there. Sierra's capable of hitting in many locations, so...
And it's almost like Wyman heard you there. She comes back with the nice location on that one. Makes it 15-13. On the serve remains Smiley. It's Smiley, Campbell, Wyman, Allen, Mills, and Rizik out there for Clare. Great serve there. Ruckert has a tough time handling it. It goes into the rafters. Verlegger still gets it over. Novak gets it over after it hits the net. Mills looking for the kill. It's going to go out. No, Wheaton gets her hands on it. Maybe should have let that one go, but very similar to what we saw moments ago when you're the last line of defense.
Yeah.
It's just a reaction to get your hands on the ball.
Yeah, ideally, if you're in the right space, digging with your hands usually means that it's out of bounds, especially if you're in middle back. So
comes a serve from Smiley. Nice dig there from Verlegger. Wheaton back to Verlegger. She's going to have to pass it over. Free ball here for Clare. They look to set up Sierra Mills. She tips this one over. Novak has to pass it over. Another free ball here for Clare if they can set it up right.
That might have been outside the pin, but we're at a very bad angle. So
Wyman goes for the kill. It's a little too long, and good defense there from Sacred Heart. They gave Clare a couple opportunities for the free balls there, but Clare wasn't able to take advantage because of the good defense from the Lady Irish. They lead at 16-14, up 1-0 here in our final match of the evening. First broadcast of the year on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman and Brandy Grakowski is here with you in Clare from our Barberry Law Studios. Kill down the line is going to be just out of bounds. I think Clare might have thought it was tipped, but both officials.
They were hoping it was pretty.
Yep.
Just out of bounds.
17-14, looking like an NFL football score right now with Ruckert on the serve. Dug out by Allen to Rizik. She looks to set up Mills on the outside. It's going to go long. 18-14.
Great pass. Great set.
And so you like what you saw from Rizik there, just a little missed time for Mills. And you talk about tough timing. You got to take a few steps up. You jump as high as you can, then you wind up. And there's a lot of things that have to go right for a big hit kill.
Yeah, and you do it differently in each space on the net. So the outside, you have a higher set usually, so you have to wait a little bit. The middle has a lower set, so you have to go faster.
Big block at the net, then a big left hand from Rizik for a point in the back row.
And that's why you like lefty setters.
And also, that's the type of play, not a lot of girls are going to make that.
Nope.
She just saw what it was and just made talk about the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game. I'm not learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about volleyball, but that might have been one of the best plays I've seen this evening.
It's nice. Like I said, lefty setters, that's why you want them there. And
that one goes into the net.
They go up, you think they're setting a ball, and then they turn their, and ball's down. So
18-16 after that one goes into the net. It's Kylie Wyman on the serve for Clare. Lady Pioneers down 1-0, trailing by 2 points late here in set number 2. Wheaton to Novak, looks for the kill. She mistimes it a bit. It's going to go into the net. And that's what I was talking about. It looked like a nice setup from Ruckert, but Ruckert did her job. But then if you're Novak, you're still 8 feet away from the net, and you got to try and make that attack.
I think she might have been more than that. But you got to recognize, have some court awareness and know that's a foot fault right there.
And so we have a foot fault. You saw one earlier. You were on it this time too, but that's a big deal. Kylie Wyman's been a great server this evening for Clare. Now you take the serve out of her hands, it's going to give it back to Sacred Heart Academy. 19-17 the score.
You just give them a point without having them have to work for it at all.
Sarah Preedom on the serve for the Lady Irish. Great locations dug out by Wyman. Chance for Allen to set it up down the line. That's going to be a double hit that time, but that was just a great serve.
Yeah.
Sarah Preedom was in the right spot. It just boom, boom. There wasn't really a whole lot she could do about that.
Kind of stuck on her platform there.
And I feel like that was the most obvious one I've seen because of the good play from there. Like I said, it just kind of platform.
Yeah, just stuck. I think they called her as a lift, so it was there for too long, right? Just like the lift we saw earlier with the attack. And great pass.
Mills over there, but it's Marin Wheaton there for the beautiful setter dump, which will make it 20-18. It's the second great setter dump we've seen from her this evening. Again, love that play.
Yeah.
Love that play.
And it's effective. It's super effective. You can't overdo it, though, right? Then your defense on the other side starts to predict it. And not only that, but then you kind of give your hitters a complex, right? Like, why aren't you setting me up?
Mills looking for a kind of the back row attack. What a dig from Ruckert. Wheaton looking for another dump. Wyman is there for it. Now Allen looking to go for the kill. It's blocked at the net. Wiggins passes it. Free ball here for Clare if they could set it up right. Clark looks to go for the tip. What a knockover by Wheaton there with the left hand. Allen goes for the kill. Goes tall with it. Now Wheaton looks for the tip to Terwilliger. She tips it over. Wyman keeps it alive. Clark keeps it alive to Allen, but then out of bounds. Woo-hoo-hoo! That was a lot of fun right there.
Yeah.
I don't know another way to say that one. Several great digs, several great plays, including Wheaton just reaching out her left paw and sending it back over. Nice serve. Wyman has to dig it out. Allen does have a chance for the kill.
So pretty. That set is just so pretty. Sets in the air. It sits in the air just nicely. It's in the same space for the most part all the time.
And so when you're watching these two teams right now, you're loving watching Amelia Rizik.
Oh yeah, like I just love her sets right now.
Yeah, and Rizik's rocking number 8. If you can see the numbers, watching on a big screen out there, that one's going to go out of bounds. 21-20. Again, neither team can separate each other by those 4 or 5 points. Now it's
crunch time. Crunch time right now.
And it's Rizik on the serve. The lefty sends it over. Ruckert digs it out. Wheaton looks to set up to Williger. She hammers it. It goes into the net. What a dig out there from Smiley.
The net might have helped Clare on that one a little bit, but no net. That ball was going down for sure.
Verlegger with the little tip over. It's dug out by Rizik to Wyman. Now Clark will just pass it over. Ruckert, Wheaton to Williger. Hammers it down, but it's out of bounds. Point, Clare, 21-21. We now got a timeout coming from Coach Davis. A good moment for the timeout right here. If you're Coach Davis, you're like, yeah, 4-0 run and we're out of here. 4-0 run and we're out of here kind of a thing. But we have not seen a lot of 4-0 runs with these two teams battling. Talk a little bit more about Amelia Rizik, the junior, the setter, wearing number 8 for Clare. When you say, what is the perfect set for you? How high does it go above the net? How long do you want it to sit up there? Again,
as
different
an outside,
for every girl.
Different for every position, right? So if we're setting up the right side, usually it goes just above the pin or just above the antenna. A 2-ball in the middle, same thing, just above the antenna. A 1-ball is usually at the reach of whatever your middle is, and that could be different, right? I've got Lizzie Laney, who's 6'2", playing in the middle right now, and then I've got Kylie Hutchins, also 5'9", 5'10", right? And their reaches are different, so their 1-ball will be different. Outside, usually it's a 5-ball is what we call it, a high outside, just inside the pin. As an attacker, you're waiting for that ball to get to its highest peak before you start to leave for your approach. That's usually really great timing. So
here comes the serve from Rizik. Hey, and it's the broadcaster's jinx again.
Well, and Coach Davis.
Yeah. That's her second point, I think.
Yeah.
Again, we're giving her all the love for the serve, and then that happens. But again, broadcaster's jinx. Here comes Terwilliger, 22-21. Sacred Heart 3 points away.
Ooh, ceiling.
We're getting the sweep close to the ceiling. Clare looks to keep it alive. Great play from Clark, but it goes into the kind of canopy that we talked about that would separate these two courts. If you wanted to have, kind of two basketball games running. Now 2 points away for Sacred Heart. We see a timeout coming from Clare, and we're not going to have a whole lot of Bird All-American Grill postgame show coming up after this one if it does wrap up here because, 5:30 to 8:48, first broadcast. But I'll make the joke, the only place you'll ever find this guy postgaming is the Bird Bar and Grill, Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant, home of, I don't want to say my favorite cheeseburger because the diner's got a really, really good cheeseburger as well.
Yeah.
Same with Sydney's. Actually,
I'm an Olive Burger girl, and I think the diner also has one of those.
They do have a fantastic. And I'm the 7-year-old. I want bacon, cheese, and ketchup on my burger, and that is it. But so I love Sydney's Judge's Bench, the diner, or the Bird for any one of those. And Sydney's Judge's Bench, shout out to them, a new sponsor. If you've never been there, they've got the Cajun fries out there.
Oh.
The last time I had them, I actually had the forehead sweating a little bit. And I like that. I don't know if everybody.
I like spice, but I also like to enjoy my food. So.
That will be another hit into the net. So it is now match point for Sacred Heart Academy with Karis Terwilliger on the serve. Junior winds up, sends it over. It's dug out by Wyman, but a really good serve. Chance at the net for Smiley. She sends it over, a little tip over. Clare keeps it alive. Rizik looks to set up Allen. She sends it over. It's going to go into the net, and that will do it. 25-21. That's the score of both sets for Sacred Heart Academy.
Little safe play, right?
Yeah, but hey, sometimes the safe play does it, I guess, right? 25-21 is the final. Again, this is our very, very brief Bird All-American Grill post-game show. But first broadcast of the year, I guess other than Facebook shutting down for a minute, everything went really, really well. We had 3 fantastic games. Beal City, Best Clare, and Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart comes back, and, I guess I'll just call it the rubber match for these two teams, is able to get the victory over Clare. You kind of thoughts on the evening coming out and watching some of these girls?
No, they have many things to be proud of, especially literally their team's probably been together for a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever, right? You got to think about that there's only been maybe, 10, 15 hours in a gym a week and stuff. So, they should be very proud of that. And now they have a really good judge on what they need to continue to work on to compete. And
yeah, this is, it's not an exhibition, but I feel like this almost is kind of an exhibition for all 3 of these schools. Like, all right, we get together, we know what each program is about, we know what they're going to kind of bring to the table every year, and so you come out of this one and you're like, all right, we know what we need to work on, A, B, and C kind of a thing. But Brandy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
I can't thank you enough. Like I said, my volleyball knowledge goes up like 7%, and it's going to take a long time to get to 100. But I feel like every time you, Coach Davis,
1% better every time, right?
Coach Taylor, Coach Jablonski, any of the guys are on, or any of the gals on with Coach McDonald, Coach Sauerman, all of you guys do such a great job helping me, give more better love to these girls as well too. Because the more I know, the better I'll be able to do in volleyball. Oh man, it's been so much fun, but I still got a lot to learn. But for
number one growingest sport in the country, I am
not surprised. And for people who don't know, boys volleyball coming this spring to Mount Pleasant High School.
We're going to certainly try,
And again, it might take year 2 or something like that, but I think it's going to a great opportunity for kids in the Mid-Michigan area to get involved in another sport. But so Beal City goes 2-0. Clare goes 0-2. Sacred Heart Academy goes 1-1. Chris Bachman signing off until Friday night. Oh, baby, Friday Night Lights will be back. Beal City versus Ravenna. I'm making that trek down there so you don't have to. Make sure you join me. Brandy, thank you again so much, and thanks to everybody out there listening.